How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Storyworks podcast. I'm your host, Zach Gosen.
I'm your co-host, Andrew Hall.
And on my right, hey,
Shut up!
hey,
You didn't.
Hey,
You have not been introduced yet. Stop talking.
listen. On my right is
Burgundy.
What's up, buddy?
How's
This
it
guy,
going, man?
he just knows when we record and he knows the day, so he just keeps kind
I
of
don't
showing
know who
up.
this guy is.
Burgundy's got a tent in the studio backyard
It's
here.
very comfortable. I have a nice little space heater. You know, I took some notes from Hereditary.
Yes. Oh my god. So welcome back, guys. This is our last episode of the spooky season.
Happy Halloween.
No, it's
That
the
was
very
perfect.
last episode. Storyworks podcast is no longer an entity. And fucking,
You're not talking this bad. No, we're not
Can't put
doing
that.
this.
Don't you
Don't
put
bring
that
your bad
on
juju
me.
on us.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Man,
Oh, that's right. You have it.
this
My
has been a
bad.
great month. I've really enjoyed watching these fucking movies.
Spooky season has been a success.
We're gonna pop it off with our top 5 scary stories.
Yeah, dude.
It can be books, games, movies, whatever.
We're just getting spooky.
We're just getting spooky, man.
However, before we get too spooky, I just have to say congratulations to my boy Zach Gosen here,
Yes, he got
who
married
has just
yesterday.
been married.
Yesterday.
Yesterday he got married,
About 12 hours ago.
and then we popped this shit out.
Woo!
The grind never stops. But no, seriously.
The grind never stops. Thank you, my man.
Congratulations.
A happily wed boy. I appreciate you,
How
dude.
was the ceremony?
Oh, the ceremony was great, man. It was great.
Dude,
We-
that reception.
nuts,
Hey, dude.
nuts.
Dude, can you
Davis
believe
died. Legally, he died.
He legally died. We brought him. He was resuscitated. For 15 minutes there was no brain activity.
He's been talking about what he saw on the other side, but I don't know. Maybe we should make that an episode.
Just do an episode on what Davis has seen.
Is this the? Are you guys?
Is this
what it-
Martyrs?
Yeah. Are you manifesting this?
Oh man, thank you though, man, for real.
The food was the food was great. I mean, I was there.
Stuffed chicken, baby.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that sounds so fucking good. Fuck you.
Oh, it's good.
You were
Some
there.
stuffed chicken. Oh yeah, that's right.
Dumbass.
I don't like living in 2 different timelines.
Oh, dude, we are in the rehearsal right now.
Straight up.
Do the future.
Yes.
Shit, all right.
But yeah, just wanted to say congratulations.
I appreciate you, man. And also, before we dive into our favorite scary stories, I kind of wanted to talk just for a second about Chainsaw Man. I know we had an
Yeah, dude.
episode about Chainsaw
Did
Man.
you watch episode 2 yet? Because I haven't caught that.
You haven't caught it?
No, unfortunately.
Episode 3's out too. Watch
Oh,
it, dude.
fuck yeah. I'm
So-
fine with spoilers too, so don't even hold back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. Currently, we've got 3 episodes out.
Thank you, Studio Mappa.
Oh my god, for real. It's been so good. It's like such a good series for Halloween.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the first episode is literally about the zombie devil.
It was so yeah. And in him
whole
trying to
fight.
escape in that like garage area, the warehouse.
Mm.
It's fucking terrifying, dude. What did you think, Dennis?
Of that first episode,
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. I really love how just in poverty he is. It
Isn't it
makes me
crazy?
relate,
He's
know.
in debt to the Yakuza.
Yeah, dude, like, and the Yakuza sitting there like, yeah, I don't care if you have to whore yourself out.
Right.
And you
Bring
say
us
that to a little
700,000
boy.
yen.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It opens up with him
God, what
talking
is
about
that
what he
American?
sold off.
Oh my God, what is that American? Because I feel like I looked that up.
What is it?
700,000.
700,000 yen.
Yeah, that's a good. I haven't really translated that.
I need one more zero. I'm kinda
$4,000.
$4,000.
God damn it, Andrew. You're so quick.
Beat you.
He's quick.
$4,780.
He's so fast.
Damn.
I'm trying to type with one hand. so,
And this is literally a kid on the streets trying
And
to
that's
figure this
just
shit
well,
out.
that's the thing is that was just what he owed then, but now by the time of the first episode, he was
with
like,
interest
I
and
think it's like
cumulative.
38 million.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he still owed 38 million after what he already paid off too.
Which
Yeah.
that is like over $250,000.
He's basically just stuck.
Oh yeah.
He's fucked, pretty much. And he dreams of jam,
On toast.
On toast.
That's what hit me the hardest, dude.
right?
Like, have you been that poor before? I've been that poor before. Like, that shit is, like, it's devastatingly
And-
relatable.
oh, yeah. no.
Like,
It hits hard, dude.
like, there comes a point, man, where, like, you're eating mustard sandwiches, bro. And now I'm watching this shit, and I'm
Just give me
like,
some bologna.
You're
I
just,
had,
I'm there.
at
I'm
least I had
there.
mustard, though.
Right.
That's why I don't fuck with spaghetti. It just takes me back mentally.
The
Yeah.
spaghetti takes you back
Chef
to
Boyardee
yeah.
ravioli, bro.
Oh, dude, but I can
You
fuck
know.
on some
I can
You could
on
fuck on some ravioli, just dump it in the pussy.
ravioli. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Super
What?
God.
No, this series is great. It's a great Halloween watch. So I'm just saying, fucking go for it. 3 episodes are out right now, and they've all blown me away. I mean, the animation's incredible, super dark and moody at times, but also bright
Oh,
and
yeah.
beautiful.
The zombie demon climax where it's got like a tentacle that shoots out or some
And
shit.
he like rides.
He
through the
rides
tentacle.
it all the way up, dude.
It's so fucking.
That's
good.
hard.
The scene, dude. Just the scene of him dismembered in the dumpster.
Oh yeah.
After they hack him up and just throw him in the fucking dumpster, and the chain links pulling him together.
Oh my god.
Wow.
The way like the shot was like the memory that he had with Pochita, and then it comes out like through the blood drop.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. Yes.
That shit was dope.
What's the animation studio again?
Studio Mappa.
Mappa. And what else have they done?
They did the final season of Attack on Titan,
Okay. Yeah, and the animation is fucking really.
and they
good.
did Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, because it's like oddly familiar.
So
yeah,
these
that
guys are
makes
just
sense.
like killing it across the board.
Oh, yeah.
Studio Mappa is popping off big time.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of everything, did you guys see the 4K remake of Naruto coming out?
They made a 4K remake of
saw
Naruto.
that.
Like, the whole thing is getting remade.
Yeah,
Really?
I did see like the
because
shot.
they did,
So
like,
it's a live action situation.
Because it's like an anniversary for
Yeah,
it.
It's like 20 years, 25 years.
That's badass.
and it's not
yeah.
animated.
No, it's
is
animated. They're
animated.
just
The
doing
whole
like
original series was
they're just
remastered.
upscaling it to
Oh,
4K.
okay. Got you.
It's gonna look so fucking good, dude.
I was
Well,
thinking
that's
like
right.
live footage for some reason.
That'd be fucking crazy.
I remember because I don't even like really watch Naruto, but I saw like they did a anniversary video where they like reanimated certain scenes from the original series in like
That's
a
the
more
video that I saw.
modern style.
and it looked sick.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even watch Naruto, but this looks dope.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So I guess we dive into our list.
Right on.
Yeah, at that point, are we done talking about Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, I just because we talked about it before, I just want to give people the push now that it's out. Started
it
in
out.
October.
You should do
Early
another
on.
episode talking about the second and third episodes, though.
We might
That'd
hit
be a
that
good
whole
idea.
season when it comes out, man. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like depending
Because
on where
there's
the
only
season
12
ends.
episodes.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Which is crazy. So we'll see where the season ends. I'm very excited to see what the conclusion's going to be
Yeah.
because me and Andrew are caught up on the manga, so super
Just seeing
excited.
like where these 12 episodes ends us at.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I'm curious.
All right, I'm really excited to see what you guys got. I feel like we're gonna have some decently diverse lists
For our
here.
lists.
Yeah, dude, it'll be interesting.
Anyone want to go first, particularly with their number 5,
I don't.
or
You
should we
don't?
do honorable mentions first or last?
I didn't really get a list of honorable mentions.
I got 3
but
of
if
them.
you guys got, I was gonna say, but if you guys got honorable mentions, pop off.
Okay. What's your first honorable mention?
My first one would have to be The Shining.
That's an honorable mention.
Yeah, that's an honorable mention.
wow. That
This dude's gonna have like Cannibal Holocaust.
No,
he's talked about. Oh my god.
not this time. It got
Not
2 shout outs.
This time. Dude, yeah, The Shining is on my list.
Really?
That made my list, yeah. Talk about what you love about it. I want to hear your thoughts.
Mostly it's a cinematography thing for me,
Yeah.
even though it's supposed to be like story based. But
That's Kubrick, right?
It's Kubrick,
yeah,
dude.
for real. But even the whole angle of the struggling writer, you know, going slowly crazy and fucking
Jack Nicholson is just...
he nails the part.
I can't get that performance out of my head ever.
Here's Johnny is just iconic,
Oh, yeah.
straight up.
And just
Like-
everything from the very first scene where he's in the interview, he's giving a chilling performance. Like it chills me to the fucking bone.
They like traumatized the actress, did they not?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, big shout out, fuck Stanley Kubrick for being a piece of shit. I love The Shining,
They
but
also beat the shit
Don't
out
be a
of
dick.
Jack Nicholson with a ball bat.
Nice.
Like Kubrick made the actress repeatedly hit Jack Nicholson in the head
it's
with a
critical
ball
to the
bat.
plot.
and her
They did like
fucking-
100 takes of it.
Cool. Thank you, Stanley.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there were 100+ takes on several of the shots that they were doing.
Yeah.
The first one every time.
Yeah. Let me see what her name is.
Live Googling.
We do it here. Yeah, Shelley Duvall, right.
Yeah.
So her hands
Dude, that
from
poor
gripping that
woman.
bat over and
Yeah.
over again were just fucking like
Blistered.
raw. Absolutely blistered.
Dude.
And she's crying for so much of that movie.
It was like it made her hysterical, like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen some behind the scenes footage. Stanley Kubrick was a fucking dick to her, like straight up. He was trying
Really?
to push her and
He,
I'm
like,
just trying to
emotionally
get
push
that
her?
performance out of you.
yeah, and it's not right. He's literally just like, Shelley, are you dumb?
Are you?
Are you?
It's like
dumb?
yeah, dude, it's like fucked up.
Shelley Duvall is just like, if I do this gig, I get another $2 million.
I,
That's my quote.
You see, that's my quote.
Big shout out to the Detective Crashmore.
Oh my god. Fucking amazing. Like I will never get over this movie. It's a fucking masterpiece. The cinematography is great.
I love also that apparently the hotel was still operating like while they were shooting there.
Really?
Yeah, so they had to shut down certain parts of the hotel at certain times. That way no one would be in that area.
That's crazy.
But the whole time it's still operating as a hotel.
That's something I didn't even think about actually.
Yeah.
Because it's so quiet. You know what I mean? Like it's just so dead silent for a lot of that movie. Just kind of like sitting in, because it's all about, it's that isolation and just
Right.
fucking losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly going mad. Something really cool about the cinematography for this movie is Garrett Brown created the Steadicam technology that was utilized in The Shining. You know the tricycle scene
Yeah.
where kids going around and you're following him on the
Yeah.
ground as he's
Yeah, that
turning around.
POV.
That's like a iconic shot, and I didn't know that this was like one of the first few instances of a Steadicam being used
Oh,
on
wow.
a set, and it had to be like fucking Stanley Kubrick saw that this was a thing, and he was like, "I need this, and I need it now," and he needed it to be lower to the ground for that tricycle shot.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they had to custom engineer the Steadicam in a whole different way because
wow.
Stanley
Really?
Kubrick asked.
Thank you, Stanley. Very cool.
Very cool, Stanley. That one is very cool, actually, but he's still an asshole.
That's how you know you got some clout, though.
Yeah,
You get-
you got some clowns. That's cool as shit, though. I found that to be really interesting.
Oh, for sure.
And it's very. I mean, I love when things are shot like that.
Mhm.
I shoot a lot of my stuff like that when I film something. Like you're following right behind the character. It's like a different sense of
That
being there
tracking
with them,
shot.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
love a good tracking shot.
absolutely. So, yeah, dude, fucking love The Shining. Whenever it snows, like the first snow, I always want to watch it
Oh,
because
yeah.
it just takes me to the ending.
It's
of the
like a
fucking movie.
Christmas movie to you.
Almost, yeah. It's my Christmas horror movie. I almost like to watch it in December more than October for that
It
reason.
makes sense. The scenery fits.
It does.
You know,
It
being
does.
up in the mountains.
Have you seen Doctor Sleep?
I have not seen Doctor Sleep.
I haven't seen it.
My
all the
brother
way.
saw it.
I liked what I
Is
saw.
that
something
from it.
like
another
that.
Stephen King
It's
property?
the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, okay.
It's like
It's about a grown-up
30 years later?
Danny. His name's Torrance, right?
I think
Danny
so. Danny
Torrance?
Torrance.
The
Okay.
kid from The Shining.
Yeah.
It's about him grown up, and he's played by Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
And he finds there's like another kid who has like psychic powers.
Oh,
That he
so another kid
finds.
with The Shining.
Yeah.
And there's also like, I think they're like emotional vampires. Like they drain
Yeah.
like they feed off like the emotions of people.
That sounds like energy vampires
It's some soul-sucking
from What
shit.
We Do in the Shadows.
Interesting. That's
Yeah.
funny. I haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, it's a good one. You'll want to watch that.
Yeah, that's been on my radar for a while.
But yeah, it's like it's about that like they interact in some way. Like they want to feed off the kid because they have The Shining.
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty haunting. Like I didn't get through it. I really want to revisit it because like they go back to the hotel for like at least the last
Oh,
10
that's
minutes.
dope.
Yeah,
Like it's not a lot of the movie. It's like the last 10 minutes or something, but
you do get to see like the
there's some
decrepit
haunting
hotel.
fucking energy in that movie, dude. In the beginning of it, like
I just say I didn't like watch it, but I was like catching scenes of him of it as I was like walking through my house.
yeah,
And I
I
bet
gotta talk
you-
about this scene just real quick. Just tiny spoiler, not really plot essential. It's just something that happens. So Danny Torrance is like super bad alcoholic, drug addict when we first
Love
pick
it.
up with him, and he like takes this girl home. They fuck or whatever, and in the morning after he wakes up, she's still out. He takes her money and leaves.
Nice, nice.
And then like 2 nights later when he's trying to sleep, he sees their house and the girl was dead. She OD'd in her bed.
Classic.
And
Oh
then
my
there's this
God.
shot of like you hear the kid crying. And then the kid is dead, and it's just like, dude, it's so haunting. It's like
Oh
a
my
zombified
God.
face of these people. It fucked me up hard. I had to pause that shit for a second, dude.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
never happened to you before?
no, dude, no.
No.
Can you imagine that? And then he just like, of course, he wakes up like fucking.
I just
freaking out.
imagine Stephen King hating the entire movie.
He hated The Shining.
Yeah, he hated The Shining. He made a made-for-TV remake of
Mhm.
the movie, and
That's
it was
crazy.
just
I didn't even
fucking
know that.
terrible.
Yeah, dude. Sci-Fi for a while there was making like hour-long specials of like a bunch of Stephen King stories for a
Yeah,
while in like
that's
the early
crazy.
2000s.
Did you guys know that Stephen King like made his works that you can purchase a Stephen King's works for like I think $1 or something?
Oh,
It's
really?
either $1 or under. He did that personally because he was like, I want people to make shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Use it.
really?
Use my stories. Yeah, you could probably pick up a
Oh, this
Stephen
poor
King book
dog.
and pay $1 or under to make a fucking. There goes my phone.
Oh, this poor phone.
Rest in peace.
He launched
To make a fucking rendition. I just thought that was cool. I learned of
Oh,
that
yeah,
in
that's
college.
So
super
he
cool.
hates on every professional movie
He's like,
that has ever been made out of any of his
Yeah.
properties.
My man has high standards, but he's
and then
welcoming.
tells anybody.
That's I mean, look,
Yeah.
man. I kind of respect that. He
I
just
can't be mad
he
at
just
it.
you can't knock a man for having high standards.
right.
But at least he's like very welcoming, and he's like, you can anybody who wants to try can.
I feel like he
Right.
got more mad that someone outdid his image.
I-
Or some
I
shit.
think you're
it's
right.
like, God damn it, this version of The Shining is so much better.
I feel like that was like he was like
Well,
crossing
there was
his arms.
also
and
a
pouting.
little callback to the book and the movie and like the opening shot. So they're driving a red Beetle or some shit. I think it
I remember
is.
the driving scene, like up through the woods, beautiful shot.
But I think in the original, like in the book, it was a different color bug. It was like a yellow bug, or
Mhm.
maybe I got them flipped. But we'll say the yellow color bug was the one from the book. The red one in the movie that Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall are driving in and shit,
right.
it passes by a crashed yellow bug
Oh,
with a subtle implication like, this is my story now.
that's really interesting.
They
actually.
crashed the
Okay.
vehicle of the original book.
That's
I mean,
kind of crazy.
and I mean the movie ends differently than the book does too.
Yeah.
I think the book ends with them like burning the hotel down,
Jesus.
That's crazy.
whereas
They're like, we can't
And
afford
then, like-
that. This,
whereas like Jack just like freezes in the snow.
which is so much more
In the movie.
haunting.
I love it. Yeah, I love the ending, dude. I fucking love it. And the zoom in of the shot of him as the hotel clerk, like at the end.
Yes, dude. Or
He's,
the
like,
still
destined to
shot
come
on
back.
the elevator doors when they open and the blood pours out.
Oh my god.
That's a
The
classic.
last like 20 minutes of that movie just gets so fucking like odd and surreal. I love it. It's crazy.
That's definitely an honorable
Could you
mention.
please pick my. I'm trapped behind this microphone. I can't. Thank you so
There you
much.
go.
You're a king. Yeah. So Shining, amazing stuff. That's my number 2.
That's your number 2?
That's my number 2 because
Hell
I,
yeah.
I that's a yearly watch for me. Like, it's one of those things I just like. I gotta watch it. It's very inspiring. I've got for one of my mentions the Blair Witch Project,
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
never saw that,
1999.
but I know like it was like the original found footage film. Or
Yeah.
was it
Sure.
one of the first ones.
Yeah, and it was like so
It had a
horrendously shocking
huge-
for people.
It had a huge like marketing campaign. behind
Exactly.
it.
Yeah,
that's-
they
that's
had
what
a
it
whole
was.
website behind it, and like
Well, it was like all
I think they
touted
had a
to be, like,
MySpace for
legit,
it.
and
It's like, yeah, these people are missing. Like they were like, and we're talking like the 90s here, so it's like harder to find the truth about those kind of things. Like,
right.
so people were like, holy shit, people were freaking out, dude. So that's, I just have a lot of respect for it in
Yeah.
that regard, and kind of being that first like found footage film. And it's just so fucking scary, dude.
How about the part where the Blair Witch isn't even real?
She's real. She's just not seen at all in
See-
the Blair Witch Project.
You know, I read some shit online, could have been totally false, is that they were there, like Blair Witch was there, but the cameraman never panned to her because something happened.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's neat.
And that they ended up using that take.
Interesting.
I just know the shot of the dude just staring at the wall.
It's so fucking scary,
See,
dude.
and that's where it kind of comes in for me, right? So, Film Theory did an episode about Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
Yeah, and Film
interesting.
Theory is very good when it comes to dissecting lore and shit.
Now we
Yeah.
can put film theory in the tags.
Yeah, you
and,
could tag Film Theory. They won't hate this. They don't work for fucking Disney now. But yeah, there was a whole thing where the Blair Witch is actually just a fake story. It's just an urban myth. And these two dudes are essentially using this girl's aspiration to find her
Yeah.
to lure her in the woods
Oh wow.
and get her by yourself. Which there's a lot of shit that goes down with the map in the movie. How it's
Yeah.
like, who has the map? Oh, at first everybody cares, but all of a sudden nobody cares. They're super like loose and
Right.
goofing around and shit. They find this house in the middle of nowhere that nobody supposedly knew about.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they knew about the house.
I'm gonna rewatch it with this in
Rewatch it
mind.
with the context
That's
of
interesting.
Blair Witch isn't real, but these two guys are luring this girl into her death.
Wow. That's
Kind of
okay.
makes it scarier for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll go do that.
Yeah, dude.
Originally the film was just like freaks me out because that's some dumb shit that I would do. I'd be like, yeah, let's go fucking find this witch, dude. That's I wouldn't do
White
it anymore,
person
but
That's
like
shit.
crazy, bro.
White person shit.
well, it's white
Some
person
white people
man.
shit.
It's like it's in our DNA, I guess, dude.
It
Like, that
100%
sounds
is.
like a good
Because
time,
I would
right?
join you. Like,
How scary would that be? Yeah, I could have just seen myself.
cook some eggs on a fire, be looking for witches and shit.
Dude, I've done it before. Like,
Have you gone ghost hunting?
not ghost hunting, but
What did you do?
a buddy of mine named Josh said that there was this witch execution somewhere in these woods. It was in Ohio. I don't remember exactly where we went. We had to go down this road where there were trees down on the road to get there. The road was like half fucking destroyed.
It's like some Helltown
Some
shit.
spooky
It was
shit.
scary, dude. It was scary. It was fun though, but that's the white person in me. I could have died.
I could have died.
Could have died. But yeah, I just the Blair Witch Project. I love it. I love the found footage feel of it. It's so saturated now, but like
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
back to that first instance,
It's
it's
tough to
just
make
awesome.
a good found footage film.
That's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
Let's
Other
see.
other
I got
mentions for you, man?
Hi, I'm Mary Mary. Have you seen that shit?
Hell no, never even heard the name.
Have you heard of it?
I think
It's
I've
on-
heard of the name, but I couldn't tell you anything.
It's one of
about
those internet horror type situations.
Okay.
So it's a YouTube channel called Hi, I'm Mary Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all spelled in one word, which is kind of
it.
weird.
Oh
to
wait,
me.
hold on. I think I do know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Let me do a
Where
little research.
this chick is basically in a parallel version of the world, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But like she's only
Some
in
Silent
her
Hill shit.
house. She can't like leave her house.
Yeah, okay, I have. seen that.
Interesting.
You know. And there's a bunch of monsters that manifest, and each one is apparently, according to Film Theory again, because that's just my source today.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking- apparently, each one of them is the like physical manifestation of some sort of emotional issues. So
I was
there's
gonna say like some
anxiety,
kind of trauma. or,
yeah,
like,
vanity, and all that. And it's supposed to be like a girl's journey to find peace while dealing with whatever struggle she's dealing with.
I really fuck with that, man.
Read it on the pod.
I'm gonna
Okay.
speak your truth.
For the Blair Witch, Davis has given me some information.
Let's go.
The Blair Witch was supposed to be shown on screen. Probably the scariest part of the movie is that we never actually see the antagonist. It wasn't meant to be that way, however. When the group runs out of their tons, Heather is tons. What the fuck?
Out of there.
When the group runs out of their tons, Heather is screaming about something she sees. At this point, the cameraman was supposed to pan left, where the Blair Witch herself is standing. She'd be in the form of a woman in a white gown. However, the cinematographer missed his cue and forgot to pan left. The gowned woman wasn't captured on film, and the scene in question was not reshot.
Why?
They did one take, and he
Why
didn't
would they
say
not
that.
reshoot that?
He didn't say that he fucked it up. He fucked it up. He was like,
Apparently,
"Oh,
he never used a camera before.
that's crazy." But it gives that they did that on purpose because it gives
Yeah.
him the feel that he's not a fucking cinematographer. That's
Interesting.
Cool. Interesting.
Who knows?
What
I like
site
that.
was
Somebody
that
can
on?
debunk it. Email us at StoryWorksPodcast.
There you go. Yeah.
Debunk our theories. Let us know. So yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty interesting. What would you rate it? Like
I'd give it a solid 8.
8 out of 10?
I'm not gonna lie. It's more of a story basis than an ARG situation,
Gotcha.
but it still has a lot of the same feeling of an ARG.
Okay.
Like you have to do some digging to find all the info. So there's like a whole Twitter account dedicated to the character.
Gotcha.
Where she'll drop like little lore bits and shit, talking
Right.
about the monsters and all that. Talk about what?
My number one horror thing is the gorillas lore.
The gorillas lore. Jesus Christ.
They're the original ARG makers.
They really are, though. Big shout outs to the gorillas.
I got one more honorable mention.
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna try and do it quick. Shaun of the
Sam.
Dead. Everybody likes Shaun of the Dead, right?
That's my 5, dude.
That's your 5?
That's 5.
Yeah.
We love Shaun of the Dead.
Let me guess, you have Hereditary on your list.
No,
Oh, okay. I
but
was gonna
literally
say.
only because
We've already
we
talked about it.
I was gonna
that.
say that's my last honorable mention.
Yeah, Hereditary is.
Yeah.
No, dude, big
Shaun of the
shouts.
Dead is so good, dude.
I could watch that movie over and over.
I
again.
do watch that movie over and over.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
watch Simon Pegg on anything, bro.
It will always be my favorite zombie movie.
Oh yeah, it beats Zombieland by miles.
It does. And I do
I
love
feel like it
Zombieland.
predated it too.
Do you feel like it beats Zombieland, Andrew? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead is better than Zombieland.
It just feels so unique. I don't know. And it's also, I just love Edward Wright. He's a great director. Those fucking like
I
the
just
quick
love British humor.
and British
British
humor,
humor.
absolutely, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
It's so much more subtle.
Simon
Dry.
Pegg, fucking hilarious.
And yeah, the fucking cinematography and shit, the cutting.
Yeah, I love the quick cut like successions of shit that he does, and in this one, it's just him getting ready in the morning.
They do
Yeah.
that a lot in Hot Fuzz too.
Yes, same director.
Yeah.
Have you seen Baby Driver?
I haven't seen Baby Driver.
That was one that Edward Wright did. That was like,
I remember seeing
more
the cuts
different.
from that, though.
yeah, I did that shit hard. It's one of his. It's his auteur. It's
Yeah.
his
Mhm.
like his thing that he does.
His niche.
His niche. Yeah, fucking the scene where he walks to work and it's regular. And then,
Yeah.
like, when the zombie apocalypse happens, and my man
He's
is, like,
still just-
unaware, just going through his
It's
morning
so
routine.
good. It's
I
so
fucking
good.
love it, dude. But that movie also gets pretty visceral and scary.
They went all the way with the effects on it, dude.
For sure.
Like
yeah.
the blood and gore, fucking.
The zombies are really, like, it's a different take on zombies as
Yeah.
well.
The whole process of a person turning into a zombie looks interesting too.
Yeah, dude. Yep. The whole, like, by the time they get to the Winchester and everything, it starts to give me Resident Evil vibes.
Yes.
Almost, because just being locked up in a bar like that. There's one of the games literally starts like that.
Yeah.
I think it's Resident Evil 0, perhaps. It's one of the
Um,
PS2 entries.
Mm.
Fucking shit ton of them out there. But it gave me those vibes super hard. And I just love the characters. You know, Simon Pegg's character, who's literally determined that this is all gonna blow over. They're gonna go get a fucking brew.
We can go get a pint.
But
gonna
he
go get
was
a pint.
right though. Like he nailed it, dude.
He did, which is ridiculous.
You love
Like-
it. You love to see it.
He lost his man though in the process.
He kept his man.
He can
though.
still play games with
He
them.
can still play games.
Yeah,
with it, but it's
he
so
got him a little
sad.
crib
Just
out
gotta
back.
have him
Would you
chained
guys
up.
keep me if I turn into a zombie?
100%, bro.
Keep
We
me
just
in
make
a-
some.
keep me in a shed and
Dude,
hook me up.
I'd teach your zombified corpse to play Elden Ring, and we
You're like, here, come on, you can do it. I know you're
I
still
know
in there
you
somewhere.
can. I know you know how to use miracles.
Oh, that's so good.
You
yeah,
try
Shaun
to
of
do
the
the
Dead. 10
you
out
do
of
the
10.
podcast intro in the voice of a zombie.
That's it.
That's it.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh god, yeah, Shaun of the Dead.
So
Fucking
good,
beautiful.
dude. Simon Pegg in anything is amazing.
That's true.
You're right, dude. Simon Pegg and the Boys.
Simon Pegg was in the Star Trek reboot.
He was,
Really?
and I liked him in it.
Mhm,
Good
He's
for him.
Scotty.
He was Scotty.
good for
did
Beamed me
him.
up, and he beamed him up.
He did the thing.
He did the thing.
Fuck yeah! I bet he's
Chris
dreamed
Pine
of that.
said, "Scotty, beam me up," and he said,
Scotty.
"Beam."
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Chris Pine is fucking Captain Kirk in it.
Damn, dude. Simon's gonna peg you next. You do.
Simon's gonna peg you next. All right, let's jump into the list. Andrew, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is a near and dear one to my heart. It pretty much defined horror for me as a child.
A lot of build
Okay.
up.
It's everybody knows it. It's Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh god damn!
Stay alive, buddy.
That's good though.
This
Came out of
shit,
left field.
this shit literally like defined horror for me growing up as a kid.
Did you have Courage Nightmares?
Yeah, dude.
I did.
Like the shit that this show does, like King Ramses, dude, the Return the Slab guy.
Dude, I was just
Fuck.
thinking about him too.
Isn't he
That's
so
crazy that you said that.
haunting?
Return the Slab. Eustace is just like, "What's your offer?
What's your offer? Oh my god,
You
yeah.
will be visited by 3 plagues." They have
He's in CG, and they knew it was weird, and they knew it was unsettling, and that's
they knew
why
it
they
didn't
did it.
fit.
like the episode where there's like the fucking Muriel gets like possessed by like the evil spirit in the mattress.
Yeah.
Oh, the Exorcist bit that they
Oh
did.
Yeah.
my god. It's so
Like
fucked
that. Like they do a fucking episode where they have a character whose name is like
Is it the Clipper guy?
it's
Oh,
no.
he's so
It's I'm talking
creepy.
I
about
hate him.
I'm talking about the fucking dude who's very clearly a zombie, but he's a movie director who comes to their house and
Okay.
he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna film a film here. My name is like Baron Tarantella or something like that," and it's
Yeah.
just very clearly a Quentin Tarantino ripoff.
Right.
And he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna film my newest horror like zombie movie here," and then he brings back to life another zombie that it turns out was his like. Turns out they're not movie directors and they're just serial killers,
Love it.
Oh wow.
Love everything about
and they're
it.
just zombies serial killers.
And then Courage gets on the computer and looks up how to get rid of serial killers.
And then the computer's like, "You are a dog. Hello, Courage. I'm going to help you."
Dude, the one face. I'm saying the one face, and you know what I'm talking about, right? It's just like the
smile.
large CGI face.
Are you talking
Oh
about?
yeah, the one with the dark circles in his eyes. It's like floating in the
Yes.
sky.
Yeah.
Well, there's like that. I mean, we talked about the clip. Like you're talking about Muriel's like nephew, who,
Dude, there's a whole
and
crazy
that's
like
when
backstory.
I got naughty.
Nazi.
Yeah. Like, why is that an episode?
Okay,
Like, why is that an episode?
I saw some dark shit about that one, dude.
Dennis
Or-
is like in the theory zone.
Dude,
man.
for real.
I'm scared of your Reddit.
What?
I'm scared of your Reddit.
You're scared of my Reddit?
Let me search your fucking Reddit
It is
history.
relatively bad, but but there's like this whole dark theory about the Clippers guy, the
Yeah.
Muriel's nephew, where he is actually a child abuser.
Cool.
I think I've
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah.
actually.
Boom, boom. Let's
Yeah.
bomb everybody. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Well, that and you have Courage, that's like a little vulnerable character, and
Yeah.
his whole thing is like catching him alone and doing what he wants.
That's
It's-
when I
it's-
got naughty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of fucking horrific.
Yeah, like you put that in a kid show, like that shit's dark.
Yeah, they had the episodes that really stood out. They still had some wacky ones, but most things were still kind of terrifying.
The
Yeah.
other one that I remember that like terrified me was I can't remember like the full plot of the episode, but Courage has been like staying awake the entire episode. Like he hasn't gone to sleep at all.
Okay.
And he's finally laying down at the end of the episode at the foot of the bed. And like his eyes are so bloodshot, and then he finally like dozes off.
Yeah.
And it's just, peaceful. And then it just hard cuts to like a CG blue like just like I don't even know how to
That's what I
describe
was
it.
thinking of, dude. Yeah. yeah.
Like I'm doing the live Google, and then it just says you're not perfect.
What was that?
You're not perfect.
What? That's what it is, dude. It looks like it's got an umbilical
Oh,
cord.
that
This
thing.
shit just
Oh,
Courage just dozes off, and then
bowling
this thing
alley
appears, and he
elevator.
just goes,
Yeah, dude.
"You're not perfect."
And that's the end
And
of the
then
episode.
Courage just like wakes up and screams, and that's the end of the episode.
What were they instilling in us, dude? Like
Uh,
what in the fuck?
Deep insecurity.
But yeah, that show like
Holy
like if
shit.
you like that show was horror to me growing up as a kid.
Yeah. No, I absolutely relate. You're totally right. You know the episode I did like before we move on?
Yeah.
The fucking like mob foot. You know what I'm talking about? They're like,
Yeah.
hey, see?
Yes.
The fuck it's a giant foot. And
Dude,
it's-
they also had the episode. I mean, this one's not exactly like such horror as
Yeah.
much as it is just like a like insanely deep storyline to put into like a children's show in the 90s.
Right.
It's about the cat
I knew you were gonna say it.
leaves her abusive boyfriend and tries to run away with her like fox friend.
I don't remember this episode.
Isn't the fox all like sexualized and shit?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
remember it.
You were beating off to it.
Yeah, they
Jesus
like this
Christ.
like she's in like they live in like a like they show like their apartment, and it's like a brick building, like a slum house,
Yeah.
and he's just like an abusive dude, and she leaves him and then like tries to escape with her fox friend, and I can't remember if they like successfully escape or not. I think they do, but it's an insanely deep
Weren't they a
storyline.
same-sex couple too?
Yeah, and it was two girls.
Wow. Okay.
And so like this is just an insane storyline to be showing.
Courage
It's
wasn't
very
in the episode
progressive.
at all.
He was there like they come like pretty much though like he was a side character to the story. She like escapes to their house in the middle of nowhere.
Gotcha.
And then he helps them kind of get away.
Okay. Wow. That's kind of fucking insane.
I'm like this shit's wild to be shot like to be made in
My
like the
number five
90s.
is, The Misadventures of Flapjack. That shit.
That show was
Flapjack.
I
terrifying.
just
Yeah.
watched that.
Yeah, dude.
It's so,
So
good.
many
Just be breaking
That like
reality.
adopted
Yeah.
that was the closest show that like adopted that sense of like visual horror
Darkness,
from
yeah.
from
Besides
Courage.
the hyper realistic SpongeBob cuts that would catch you.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, so that was my number 5.
That's a great pick, man.
That is-
really good.
Yeah, you threw me off.
Yours was Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, my Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, yeah,
I
we
think
talked
we
Shaun of
covered
the
that
Dead.
one pretty well.
My number 5. Has anybody here heard of or seen The Descent?
I've heard of it, but I
yeah.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I want to say I briefly watched it. I know what you're
2005.
talking about. The underground horror.
Oh my
right.
God, it's cave exploring. Yeah. dude.
Yeah.
Or spelunking.
I caught this movie when I was way too young. So it came out in 2005, and I probably saw it shortly
And
after.
here you are, 11.
I was
Just
probably like 11 years old. Yeah, dude. And we're watching this movie. I don't get any of it, obviously. So revisiting it was really interesting. It's a story about grief and loss and kind of dealing with trauma. So we have this main character who's a woman who is married. She has a daughter. You see them like whitewater rafting at the beginning. She's got like her and her friends do this kind of stuff, like fucking cave diving and whitewater rafting and all these different things.
Extreme sports.
Yeah, and then it just it cuts to her driving home with her family. There's some weird tension between her and her husband, kind of, and then they're behind a truck that's carrying metal poles, and the metal poles, everything stops, and the metal poles just come on through.
It's the logs from fucking Final Destination.
Literally, dude. Her husband gets like fucking shish kebabbed, like
Nice.
real quick. And she wakes up in the hospital, and they're both gone. She lost everything.
Love it.
So it's
I
like-
mean, sorry.
no, but I mean,
Bro,
it's-
that's just like Doctor Strange, man.
so like a year later, they plan this cave
The guy
diving
who
trip
can
or
only
whatever
relate in Marvel
to
movies.
try to help bring her back or whatever. Just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's not a good time. It's not a good time when they get in the cave. It takes a second for things to pop off in this movie, but it's a great build up. I think cave exploration is fucking terrifying on its own right.
Have you done any of that?
Fuck no, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's
I don't want to get
great.
stuck in a cave.
Yeah.
The closest
no,
I've come to doing something like that is when we went to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Me and my brother did like this zip bike thing.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like a zip line, but it was like a line that goes around, and you
That's
get in
lit.
like a reclining position, like a
Yeah.
bike, like a recumbent bike, and you're just pedaling and you're pushing yourself along the rail.
Interesting.
And the whole thing we went to this like resort park thing.
Right.
It was called like Shell Ha. It was like in a lagoon.
Okay.
And they had this whole thing set up to where it took you like around the entire place. And one of the spots it ended up going was like it took you down in through like a little cave section
Ooh.
Mm.
and then up and out.
Oh, that
would-
sounds dope.
That would give me the jitters, man.
It was cool, but I was like, I don't want to go any deeper than
yeah, no.
The only reason you know that bike name is from the rehearsal.
Yes, yeah. you knew.
Yeah, dude.
You
I'll
knew.
let you finish the story.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I know that you know what a recumbent bike is because you watched the rehearsal on HBO Max.
Same. I only know that because we rehearsed the situation.
Yeah, no, so that would be a little spooky for me, man. You end up finding out that this is not a cave that has been explored. The girl who planned the trip wanted them to conquer this thing and name it themselves and make this huge monumental thing. Obviously, they get fucking lost.
Classic.
The first
The monster
viscerally terrifying
reveal.
moment is they're shimmying through a space that's
Oh.
not very easy to get through. It's very tight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can just barely make it, and of course the main character ends up getting stuck.
Yep.
And I found it hard to breathe just watching that.
Getting
Yeah.
claustrophobic. Yeah.
So claustrophobic. It's probably like almost an hour in or so when it starts to become what it is, which is kind of like a creature feature with this evolved species that lives
Nice.
down in this cave system.
I always love the twist.
And they fucking spoiler alert. That's what the movie's about. They use sonar shit. They scream and they shriek to find where people are, and it derails so fast. And this kind of story about grief and loss also keeps popping up kind of
Really?
throughout. So it doesn't just become this mindless creature feature. It's a really good movie, man. Like
Yeah.
I recommend it to anybody. It's fucking scary. I think the monsters haven't aged super well
Yeah.
since I've seen it the first time, but I think it does still hold up.
Dude, if you don't like enclosed spaces like that, I just learned about this event that happened in like I think it was like the mid 1800s or something
Yeah.
like that, where this dude was doing like some spelunking. Like he was somewhere in like Midwest America, and they were like the big thing was like "Oh, I have a cave. Come explore my cave. I'll charge you, and you can come look at my
I'll
cave."
charge you, and you can come check my cave out.
And this dude went to like he had a cave that he was like digging out,
Yeah.
and he had this super narrow passageway that he had to go through, and at the end of it was like a 10-foot drop, and
Oh,
then an
Jesus.
even like smaller passage that you had to squeeze through.
Oh my
Jesus.
But at
God.
the end of that, he was like carving out a space because behind like the wall there was this super cool like limestone cavern space
Yeah.
with like stalagmites and stalactites and everything. And so he would just go in for like 18 hours at a time. Like
Jesus
just spend the
Christ.
entire day just digging. And one day he fucking was digging and it was like 3 a.m. and as he's like pulling himself out, he's like it's so tight that like his arms are like that.
Right.
and he's
that are
having to,
stuck
like-
to his side.
Yeah, stuck to his sides and he's having to like kind of wiggle himself with his feet, kind of like grab and kick and push.
Jesus.
that.
And he thinks he's got his foot on the ceiling to like or on one of the sides to like push himself out,
Right.
but he's actually got his foot on one of the rocks on the ceiling. And as soon as he puts any force on it, the whole rock pins his ankle to the ground.
Uh,
And
this
so
happened?
this is a real story.
did you say in the 1800s?
Yes.
Fuck that. dude.
Man
It's
got
even worse.
stuck in like 50 plus feet deep in this cave,
Oh my god.
just shouting for help. And eventually his brother found him.
Wow.
And he was stuck in this cave for I think like 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, so he didn't find him alive.
No, they found him alive.
he fucking
Really?
survived.
well, like he found him like 2 days in.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And
But they couldn't get him out.
like
For, like, 3
nobody
weeks?
nobody would try and squeeze through the hole
They just-
except his brother. His brother was
Wow.
the only one who would like go down and try and get through.
Oh my God.
And he went
dude.
down there and like, fed him like coffee and fucking, hot dogs and shit.
Right. Jesus. dude.
And
just living in his own filth down
Good
there.
brother.
that whole thing ended up creating like a tourist trap at that place because people were
You
showing
wanna
up.
come get stuck in a cave? Bitch?
People were
Let's
showing
go.
up and like, oh, buy food out here and hang out and all that shit, and all that heat that they were creating was melting shit and creating like making the temperature of the cave higher, which was melting shit on the cave and making the whole cave itself unstable. Eventually they brought the US government in
Holy shit.
to like get this man saved. But eventually because the cave got unstable, the passage closed
Mm.
and they weren't able to get to him. So they decided to just dig straight down through like 60 feet of rock. And by the time they got to him, he had been like dead for like 2 days.
Ah, that's rough.
So he didn't make it.
He didn't end up making it out, but like he survived trapped under this cave for like 3 weeks.
This your number 4?
Fuck
No,
that.
this is just
This is just a real.
this is
fucking
just he was
story.
talking about like a cave movie, and I was just
So now we have a cave movie to make.
yeah, dude.
Oh,
No, this
yeah.
shit is.
If you're
I'll have to-
listening,
Right.
don't touch it.
I'll have
We're
to. I was gonna
doing
say
it.
I'll have to show you the video that I saw about it. This shit was insane.
Can you imagine? That's fucking crazy. I feel so bad
like
for
a
that
dude
man.
like
He held out.
a news reporter got wind of the story, and he was the one who like brought it to national attention, and he ended up I think like getting a Pulitzer Prize for it.
But before he got government help, people showed up and were selling food
Yes.
on top of his soon-to-be grave.
Yes. They were like, "Oh, we can't go in there." They like,
That's
there was one
Basically
dude.
made it his grave.
There
That's
was like a
capitalism,
firefighter
bro.
guy who showed up and was like, "We're gonna get him out. I have an idea. We're gonna just we've chipped out because they just his brother and then like the news reporter guy were the only two people who would like go down who would go squeeze through.
Even the reporter.
They
went
both
down
have high stakes.
Well,
in
he
there.
had to go down there to get the story.
there. Right.
Literally, he went down there and started like interviewing him.
Hey, bud, what happened?
I could pull you out of this
But no,
cave
he
right
did-
now.
He did start chipping him out, but it was like the cave was so unstable that like any you chip it out and remove rock.
It's like,
And it
we're
just-
both about to be
Class
stuck
is
in
backed
it.
out.
Because it was like there was a whole pit, like a gravel pit above him, that was just spilling
That's
gravel out. Exactly. So this firefighter dude shows up and he's like, "I have a great idea. We're gonna, get as much of this gravel removed as we can, and then we're gonna tie a rope to him, and we're gonna do a rope pull."
Holy shit, man.
And they tried to do this rope pull, and it didn't fucking work because my man was pinned down by like tons of rocks.
Right.
and they were just gonna tear this man in half.
Just chew your leg off, bro. Hyenas do it all the
He
time.
had to like yell like, "Stop! I'm gonna die."
That's so fucked up.
He was right.
Oh my god. This is crazy, dude.
Crazy story.
This needs to be a movie. That's nuts. All right. Well, shit.
Yeah, sorry for that tangent.
No, don't be sorry. I'm intrigued. That's kind of like that's a real fucking nightmare right there.
It's a real story, man.
Shit. Well, so let's go back to you, Andrew. What is your number 4, my man?
My number 4? Yes. This is a body horror film that I saw
Fuck, it is.
a few years ago.
We love to hear it.
It is our boy Kevin Smith's Tusk.
Oh my god, dude.
Here we go.
Kevin Smith.
This movie just is insane to me.
It's
Like, I love it. Like, it's very much body horror to me, but I was like,
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, I like laughed.
It's funny. No, I mean we were laughing. We
We
watched it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty fucking horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like the thing is just like so horrifying that you kind of like laugh just uncomfortably. Just a crazy story too behind it.
The way that it was brought about
Yeah.
is super fun. Yeah.
Um
Our boy Rick is in the credits of that movie, man.
yeah.
Really?
Because anybody like they launched a campaign to get it funded after
That's so cool.
after Kevin Smith. It was pretty much a bit that he did live on his podcast.
Yeah.
They made the bit and it was just going.
He was
and
just
going.
like, what if, we're just gonna like I'm gonna like document like the whole filming, like the whole writing process behind this movie.
Okay.
Because like
Yeah.
they talked about it on a podcast, and he was just like, "What if I did a movie about this?" And then did it.
They did like it was a petition. No, yeah, he didn't help pay for it or whatever. It wasn't crowdfunded, I don't think. It was a petition.
Because it's an A24 film.
Yeah, they were like, who wants to see this made? And our friend Rick was one of the people that sent in a yes. So anybody who supported it had their name in the credits of the movie,
That's awesome.
which is a really fucking
So cool. Have you seen it at all?
I saw it a while ago. It's been a hot
Okay.
minute.
It
but,
has been out for a second,
What was
yeah.
the storyline
That's our
behind
boy
it?
Justin Long.
Yeah, Justin Long's in it. Haley Joel Osment's in it.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's in it.
Jesus.
Johnny Depp
And like
said
an
that he wanted to
uncredited.
work with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it was like an uncredited role
Mm-hmm.
too, which is just insane.
Mhm.
But yeah, like Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment have this like they have a podcast they do
Yeah. Yeah.
where they just like talk about like viral stories. And Justin Long's character is going to Canada to interview a kid who his viral video is him in his garage fucking with a samurai sword, and then he cuts his leg off.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude. I remember that part
And
now.
so he goes to interview the kid who cut his leg off, and when he gets to their house, it's like the reception for a funeral
oh my god.
because he like killed himself.
Yeah, that sounds
oh my
right.
God.
So he doesn't have a story, so he goes to like a bar just to hang out. And while he's going to the bathroom, he sees a fucking one of those like take a strip things where it's like, I'm an old man who I'm an old veteran who lives alone in my sizable house. I'm in a wheelchair, so doing things is kind of difficult. I'm offering free room and board, and all you have to do is take care of me. And then it's like grab my number below,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to listen to my stories. And so Justin Long is like, that's interesting.
Stories.
Story works. So he calls the dude up and he goes out to his house. The man just talks about, one of the stories that I have, the greatest story from my time in the Navy. I was stranded. Our ship wrecked, and I was stranded on an island in the Arctic.
It was stuck.
No food, no nothing.
Only
And
had a
I was
ball.
saved. I was thrown into the water and I was pulled to shore by a walrus. Mr. Tusk, I named him.
Mr. Tusk.
and we stayed on this island, but there was no food. So eventually,
Did he have
God.
to eat Mr.
Eventually,
Tusk?
I had to eat Mr. Tusk before I was saved,
So fucking sad.
and it's very, very sad.
R.I.P. Mr. Tusk.
I respected Mr. Tusk. And, spoiler alerts. We're getting into some spoilery territory. They're having some tea, and then Justin Long
Some tea. Nothing wrong with
faints because the tea was, drugged.
Classic.
And he wakes up, and he's sitting in a chair in a room with like a blanket over his legs.
I know what happened.
And he pulls the blanket off, and sure enough, his fucking... I can't remember if it's both of his legs or just the one. I think it's just the one leg. But he has his leg amputated.
Yeah, dude.
And
That's scary as fuck. Like, seriously.
the old man comes out and is like, "Oh, hey, I'm glad you're awake." And he's like Justin Long is freaking out. He, give me my phone. What the fuck happened? Why is my leg gone? And
Right?
the old man's like, "Well, you got bit by a brown recluse."
Oh my god.
So you cut the fucking
And
leg
the venom was traveling up your leg. It was going to kill you.
Is he standing at this point?
No,
too?
no,
He's still
no.
in the
He's
chair.
still in the chair. We had to call the doctor. And the doctor came, said you got bit by a brown recluse, and, the venom was traveling up your legs, so we had to amputate it to save your life. He's like, "What the fuck?
off.
Give me my phone. I need to call my wife, my family. I need to
Yeah.
let them know what happened." And he's like, "Oh, the doctor broke your phone on accident."
Jesus Christ.
It didn't get bit by a brown
He like
recluse.
accidentally. He accidentally stepped on it while he was trying to save you. And then he's like, "Well, let me use your phone then." And he's like, "Oh, my phone line's been out for a while."
Jesus Christ. You're like, okay.
Let me use your neighbor's phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't have
And-
neighbors.
Well, like he's just like, the doctor will be back. He's very busy. And, he starts to make dinner or whatever, and they're having dinner, and he just, like, Justin Long is just, like, fucked up,
Yeah.
obviously.
Right.
And then he just, starts getting angry, and he wants to go home. And as they're having dinner and having this argument, the fucking old man stands up out of his wheelchair
Yeah, that's where it is.
and, like, tells him to shut up,
Yeah.
and then knocks him out again, and then you fucking get brought to his dungeon.
Yeah, dude.
And
Fucking
it turns out that
Christ.
this man is just cutting people up and making his own human walruses out of them.
That's what's up. Now we're getting to the
He's-
good shit.
Yeah, dude.
He grafts skin onto Justin Long to like give him like the body shape of a walrus.
Oh, it's so fucked up.
And then
dude.
uses his leg bones to make tusks.
Oh my god, the leg bones. I never thought of that.
Uh-huh.
I would have used ribs.
And the entire time,
Jesus.
Haley Joel Osment's character is, a cool guy because he, is fooling around with Justin Long's girlfriend behind his back.
real nice, dude. Yeah.
Very, very cool. But,
While he's being a human.
but they
walrus.
they're both concerned about him. They're
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
where's our boy at? Clap, clap,
Oh
clap.
no. Oh, that
Um,
shit sucks.
So they go to Canada looking for him,
Yeah.
and they end up running into this French-Canadian detective,
It's so fucking.
played by Johnny Depp.
Such an interesting.
I think his name is
performance.
like Guy Lapointe.
Yeah.
And he talks about how, years ago he was tracking this man, this serial killer guy who, was taking people off like the roads or whatever, and, they were never seen again.
Right.
And it flashes back like decades ago, and it shows Johnny Depp going to like this old shack house where the old man is.
Right.
And at this point in time, he's playing like the old man is pretending to be like this kind of senile old dude
Okay. Gotcha.
who's trying to like coax him into the house.
Right.
And Guy Lapointe does not take the bait,
Yeah.
and he leaves. But he's like, that was the guy, and I let him go all those years ago. So then the three of them decide we have to go stop him.
Yes.
And they get there, but at this point in time, our man Justin Long has been turned into Mr. Tusk.
He's just Mr. Tusk.
But then
The old man-
the shit flips and he saves the day,
The
and now
old
his
man
girl
at
lets
this
him
point-
dive in it.
The old man has, fixated on him, calls him Mr. Tusk. Explains that he has this trauma because he killed Mr. Tusk for food to survive, but immediately after killing Mr. Tusk for food, like before he could even eat or anything, he's rescued by the Navy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Ah.
And he didn't originally tell that part of the story. So he has this
Right.
he has this guilt for killing Mr. Tusk. So he wants, in his sick mind, the redemption lies in creating a new Mr. Tusk
Jesus, dude.
and then fighting to the death, giving him a fighting chance.
That's a nice
Oh,
flip.
And this
God.
man puts on his own walrus
It's
suit
so fucking crazy.
What the
and is like, let's go. Let's fight. And Justin Long starts fighting and he wins. He starts getting the upper hand. And the iconic line is uttered by the old man. He says in his walrus suit, I see your survival instincts have kicked in. Well, so have mine. And he fucking stands up and rips the suit apart. And before he can even do anything, Justin Long just stabs his tusks into the dude's feet
Yeah, dude.
and then kills him.
Yup.
And then Johnny Depp and Haley Joel Osment show up. And he's still Mr. Tusk at this point.
Yeah, it's
so
not really revived,
you can't really bring someone back from that. So they
So
he
now
have
he's
they
the
have
pet.
him they have him in a enclosure
Yeah.
where
cool.
they go there and they ring a bell and they throw fish out into it and he comes out and eats it.
He's not a walrus and they're still feeding him fish.
And he just consistently gets cucked by his ex-girlfriend and friend.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
like, you're a walrus now.
You're a
You get it,
walrus.
right?
Our
Insane.
lifestyles are too different.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane movie. And just the skin coat that gets put on them,
It's insane.
the grafting, you just see ears and noses
Oh
and
my God,
eye
yeah.
holes and shit.
Dude, when I went to we visited New Jersey when we were on tour.
Yeah, you guys went to the Quick Stop, right?
We went to the Quick Stop and we went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which
That's
is
dope.
the comic book
Yeah.
store that Kevin Smith owns. And he's got a Mr. Tusk in there, dude. He's got a full-size Mr. Tusk that was
That's crazy.
hanging up somewhere.
That's awesome.
I was like, this is fucking bizarre.
That's insane.
Super cool.
But yeah,
Um,
that's my number 4.
Great movie, dude. Great pick.
I just love the the body horror behind it, but also that it makes me laugh.
Yeah. Have you seen Red State?
No, but I want to.
Great horror movie, also by Kevin Smith.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it's about super insane conservative
Yeah.
dudes.
Uh-huh.
And it's also a cult.
The dude who leads the church, the cult.
so regular conservative dude.
How to alienate half our viewers with one easy trick.
with one easy trick.
You gotta vet them, bro. You need the good ones to stay around.
Yeah, dude. Fucking the dude who creates Mr. Tusk, the old man, is the head of the cult in Red State.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you get to see another performance from him, which is really cool. He's got a fun monologue in that bitch. So check out Red State too if anybody's seen Tusk and they like it. It's a whole different vibe. It's a lot more serious. So good shit. Number 4 for you, Burgundy.
That would be Maniac, starring Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood is in a horror movie.
I haven't heard of
And
this.
apparently, he loves underground horror movies.
Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah.
what is this?
It's a whole movie shot from a first-person perspective,
Okay.
from Elijah Wood's perspective. And
So you hardly really even see Elijah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
mostly it's when he looks in a mirror or some shit like that,
Right.
But it's a serial killer movie.
Okay, so it's
Classic.
Elijah Wood playing a serial
Playing
killer.
a serial killer,
Nice,
dude.
nice.
He's not our fun, lovable hobbit that we know him as.
No, but the weird part is because it's Elijah Wood, he's such a lovable person.
Right.
And that kind of plays into the plot a little bit because his victims are women,
Okay.
you
Gotcha.
know, so he's like a soft dude, you know, he's
Right.
able to connect
That's
with
how
them
he is
and lure
luring
them
them
in. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, Homeboy was traumatized as a child by his hooker mom,
Holy shit.
who would like turn tricks for drugs and money and shit in front of him
Wow.
while he was a child. So that's already pretty rough.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. And then, you know, as a traumatized person, he starts running this mannequin repair like company.
Wow.
So there's
That's fucking
a
scary.
warehouse full of fucking broken mannequins, which is just naturally spooky.
Right. For
And
sure.
his job's to fix them.
Does he bring his victims into that
He
place?
does.
Oh,
Nice.
that's so scary.
You know, he does.
You're looking for Elijah Wood in the midst of a bunch of mannequins.
Yeah, he does a couple break-ins, if I recall properly.
dude.
You know, breaks into people's cribs and shit. It gets graphic, I will say.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. If SA is something that you're not like looking.
Is it,
for-
like how bad? Like full
like
on they show
like
that shit?
full on like
Oh, that's rough.
first
yeah.
person point of view.
Thank you
like-
for the trigger warning.
Yeah, like no genitalia. It's not porn, but
It's
like,
still a lot, though.
yeah, it's still a lot. Like I wouldn't watch that on a in the
That's
wrong
something that
setting.
is a
or-
good movie, but it's hard to rewatch. Like the rewatch
Yeah.
value goes down because of that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
automatically.
I
Like,
totally
I've
get-
only
yeah.
seen it like twice.
That's exactly It's just a lot.
Yeah,
so
and
much.
it's a really good movie, but like it's really hard to
They're
push
pressing
past.
that really hard, yeah.
yeah. I mean, and that's his whole MO.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a crazy person. So I get why they did it for the character, but
right.
yeah, don't watch it if that's something that bothers you.
Shock value.
He also collects the women's scalps, which is fun.
Holy shit.
You know, fun stuff. And then he likes to recreate his victims by putting the scalps onto some of the mannequins.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's super good, dude.
That's
like,
insane. That sounds like a
And the
fucked up
whole
movie.
time, Frodo's.
And it's just Frodo, dude.
It's just
God.
Frodo
Gandalf.
clapping people. It's so fun.
Wow.
But that's just, oh my god.
So yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no,
that's
it gets
interesting,
pretty
man.
bad. It leads into a psychotic break where like the mannequins come to life as his victims.
Oh wow.
And there's this whole climax at the very like they really wait for the end.
Yeah.
You know, where like his romantic interests finds out he's the killer and he ends up killing her and all sorts of shit. But he has
Gotcha.
this mental breakdown in this place where the mannequins come to life as his victims and fucking rip his face off.
Nice.
And there's a mannequin face under the face.
Wow.
And it's a mannequin Elijah Wood. But once the cops bust in, because the cops are on to a serial killer,
Right.
they find him in his closet, just dead.
He's dead?
He's dead, holding his scalp collection.
Oh, jeez.
Dead how?
Yeah, I don't recall actually. I
Wow.
think it like I need to look that up, but
That's crazy.
all I remember is like
I don't know if
boy
it's
was
just
clapped.
because, like, Elijah Wood is like, they're both like good guys who play horror roles also, but it kind like I don't know why it makes me think of Split with James McAvoy.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
Just
I
how
haven't
like
seen that.
I haven't seen it either, but just I know that movie is like
Abduction.
it's abduction and the dude instead of having like, you know, a bunch of fucking mannequins around that he like has heads on that he thinks are other people.
Yeah.
It's he just has like 26 personalities inside him. He's got like DID.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was an interesting movie, I will say.
Apparently that's like part of a trilogy.
Yep. And the last movie's Glass, I think. I
Mhm.
never saw it. I've only seen Split. There's a first movie too.
With Bruce Willis.
Yep. Unbreakable, I think, which I've never
Mm.
seen that either. But yeah, man,
Good old M. Night
so
Shyamalan.
that's a good number 4. That's
Yeah,
that's
dude.
fucking chilling.
Very,
dude.
Yeah,
very
it's a
spooky,
very
yeah.
good movie. Like I said, like just don't watch it if you're triggered by stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I
for
mean,
sure.
horror is one of those genres that like it
It can-
does
mhm.
play a part in the plot. So
Right.
it's not like it's just ruthlessly out of nowhere. And from what I remember, that like really dark thing happens twice, I want to say.
Right.
but it's not so often that like this is just for shock value. Like
Right.
it actually pertains to the character's motivation.
For sure. And you could always skip forward too.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Like-
no, that's usually what I do.
Yeah, we had a conversation about The Last House on the Left when we were talking Revenge Tales.
Mm.
Perfect revenge movie, great revenge movie, but it's got a really bad like sexual rape scene
Yeah,
that I can't get over. You know what I mean? It's just a lot.
I mean,
so-
once you've seen it once, you don't need to see
Exactly.
it twice.
It-
You know,
it's-
like you
yeah.
get the point. Let's push.
Right.
You know,
so good.
like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
that's when I know that's yeah.
Yeah, I
haven't
had to
seen that
fast
one.
forward that shit.
Yeah.
Like first viewing, I fast forward that shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so my
Wait.
number 4 is more of just like, I mean, it was pretty scary. It was pretty scary, but like it's also a lot of fun. I did Resident Evil Village
Okay.
for my number 4. I love the Resident Evil series. I always have. I've played them a
I've
long
got
time.
Resident Evil somewhere in my list.
Is it Village?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is it 4?
I like it. Yeah, Village. Me and Andrew were playing it kind of at the same time. It's
I
just
love Village.
it's so good. I fuck with the first person take on Resident Evil. I find it to be a lot more fucking scary. Honestly, like I was jumping a lot.
It's more immersive.
They're gonna
Exactly.
They're adding a third person mode, I think.
They are, and I probably will play it just because I've already beat it once. But I do find that the first person had me
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
shook way harder.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
It's more immersive.
Exactly. What I like about this game so much is that me and you have talked about this before. It's like you're going through a different haunted house attraction every time you get to a new area.
Yeah.
That's
because you
awesome.
find
each
yourself.
type of each villain you go up against has a different like horror vibe behind them.
Yeah, like some lady
Like Dimitra, like Vampire Mommy, Lady
Vampire
vampire mommy.
Mommy.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know her.
Yeah, right.
That's like, you
That's
know, you're
gothic
in a,
horror.
as I say, you're in a castle and she's chasing you the whole time.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Love it.
The second one you go to is like a doll, like a lady who has like a ventriloquist doll.
That is the best
that.
out of all
and you
of
go
them.
down into the fucking basement and you're like gassed
Mm-hmm.
and you start seeing shit and you eventually see like a huge fucking, and you don't have any of your gear.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you just see a huge fucking like fetus baby monster
Yeah.
What?
like crawling towards you,
and
just
then
going
you
like-
stomp it out.
just going like
No, it's
mama,
Oh my god.
like
it will eat
I'm
you
talking
whole.
like huge, like it'll grab you and eat you.
Oh my god.
And
For a
you
little
don't
bit-
have any gear, and you
Yeah.
have to just like evade this thing and like hide under beds or in closets.
What would you call it? Like survival horror? Because
Yeah,
like, you have
yeah.
no
very
way to
much
fight
so.
back.
Very much so.
You're hiding and hoping it. You're hiding in a locker and watching it walk past you. As you know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe.
Jeez.
And the sound design is fucking horrific. You just hear it crawling around, and it's got this like reverby, distorted
baby.
voice, but it's a fucking baby. Like it's straight up a baby.
It's literally
crying.
just like, mama,
dude.
dada.
Mother's milk.
Mother's milk. But to give
some
context,
It's
you're
Always
you're
Sunny
there
shit.
looking for your daughter, who was a baby. Like you're in the village
Mhm.
looking for your daughter.
and now you're
so
being attacked by a giant fucking baby.
It's fucking horrific. Dude.
That's
So I loved that.
Yeah.
Moving on from that,
There's the fish dude.
which what would you call? That's body horror, pretty
Body
much.
horror,
You see this dude
action
transforming.
horror.
Yeah,
I'd call the next space even more like body horror than before.
Yeah.
With, Heisenberg.
right. With the factory,
Yeah.
that was chilling too. I mean,
Just seeing like all like the undead dudes with like the metal on their heads, just
Yeah.
like on like the conveyor belt.
there's a scene where you walk in and you see, and it's just like miles, and it's huge. Just these dead bodies on these factory rails
fuck
being
yeah.
modified into these creatures. That it's an army. The dude's building an army,
Yeah.
and you got to go through while these guys are just activating.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
It's
goddamn.
fucking scary, man.
They're like this
So-
rusty ass, decrepit, like underground factory.
Right. People can say what they will about like the story and like what ends up happening. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I'm never gonna take Resident Evil too seriously.
Exactly,
Right.
man.
You know, you punch a fucking
Boulder.
a
I'm
ton
I'm
boulder.
Chris Redfield. I punch boulders.
he punches a boulder to save some like
Like a boulder that is like taller than him and like 3 times as wide.
right. Right.
and he punches it in half.
It's fucking hilarious with his big old
badass.
muscles. So yeah, no, fucking just a super fun game, perfect for Halloween. It's got all those different kinds of horrors. I like the werewolves at the beginning too.
The lichen
And the
dudes.
beautiful thing about it is at the end of the game, they give you a good hour of gameplay where you're OP as fuck.
Yes.
And you're just shredding through all these monsters that were
The
scaring the
Chris
shit out of
Redfield
you
segment
at the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah. It's the Chris Redfield segment. Yeah, you can't kill Chris Redfield, bro.
You get to feel powerful.
right. So that's my number 4. Just a really fun playthrough on Halloween. I thought the story was really fun too. It gave me Resident Evil 4 vibes, which is what I kind of grew up on more
Same.
so. So yeah, that's me. What do you got for number 3, my man?
Number 3, I have a video game. This one, it came out a few years ago. It's like a more of like, I don't want to necessarily call it like an indie game, but it's not like produced by like a huge studio or anything. It's called Soma.
Soma. Oh,
I feel
okay.
like I've heard of that.
The premise is like you're this guy who has like, I think like brain cancer or something like that.
Wow.
Or just like maybe it's just like an aggressive form of cancer, and you go into this clinic or whatever to have some tests done, and then you go in and the people are like, this is experimental treatment or whatever, but we're hoping that like we're basically gonna take a copy, like we're scanning your brain,
right.
we're gonna take a copy of it so that we can run trials on it, and it'll help us kind of test what we can use to help you faster. So the dude gets his brain scanned, and he like closes his eyes, and then he opens them, and he's in a completely he's in like a decrepit version of
Oh,
like the
cool.
place. And he starts walking around, and he suddenly realizes that no, he's not in that clinic at all anymore.
oh my God.
My man is like underground, like underwater.
What?
Like he
Like
like
some
underwater.
BioShock?
Yeah, first person game. Kind of like BioShock. It's like an underground, like like underwater, like research station.
Gotcha.
And as he's going along, he sees like robots that are like that like are talking like they're people.
Right. Okay.
And as he's walking along, one of the chambers that he's in gets flooded,
right.
and he's like, you're like, oh fuck, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But he doesn't die.
Are you just?
And then like
existing
you,
in the
and then
water?
like you, like he, as you're like looking at your hands, the realization like snaps in, and your hands turn into robot hands.
Oh god.
What?
And it turns out that you are a robot.
What the fuck?
Spoiler.
Yeah. But as you're like walking along, like you're making your way through this facility, you have like a AI companion, like a robot companion that like you chipped into like a radio
Right.
that's like helping you through. And she's just like talking like everything's normal. Like she's like, I know that I'm a robot. You're a robot. I don't know why that's like a big deal to you.
Yeah. It's like,
Um,
what are you so weird?
we're all
about?
just she's like, we're all just copies of consciousness. And it turns out that like, yeah, this like you're like hundreds of years
apart from where you were.
apart from where you were originally, and it's like the technology that they did where they scanned your brain was eventually like expanded upon into this, like they use it for AI and like robots for like
Wow.
tasks. And it turns
So-
out that like this whole station is like underwater because like life on Earth is like dead,
Jesus.
and they were trying to like figure out a way to like save people. And they tried a whole bunch of different things, and it turns out that like the creator, or like the lady that's like in your device,
Yeah.
created this like ark to
Oh,
save
God.
people.
Like a Noah's Ark situation.
And so like you're like, okay, let's go to the ark. We're gonna get on it. And it turns out that it's like a digital ark. Like it gets launched out into space, and it's a satellite that has, everybody that was in this project had copies of their brains
Right.
uploaded into this thing.
Oh my.
And so you're like
God.
trying to make your way down further into the base to get there, and there's like these like monsters because they use some type of like organic biotechnology
Right.
thing,
Mm.
And
it mutated to some
it
degree.
mutates into these like monsters that you're like avoiding as you go through the facility.
Not fighting back, just avoiding.
Yeah,
It's mostly exploration.
yeah, puzzle solving and shit.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And
This
just
is a
like
really
getting
interesting
lore.
concept.
It's super cool.
What kind of horror would you call it? Mostly like psychological. Like,
Psychological. It gives me like BioShock vibes,
Yeah,
kind of, because it's
yeah.
like underwater.
It's like you're literally in a whole new world, pretty much.
There's one scene that's like super crazy where you're going like super low, where like the pressure's deeper,
Yeah.
and so like your robot body won't last.
Right.
So you fucking have to upload yourself into like a high pressure suit that can go down,
Right.
and your partner tells you like, we're just gonna upload your consciousness into this thing, okay? And you do it, and you like your character experiences like the body swap.
Okay. Gotcha.
But after the body swap happens, you get up and you can see the old you, and it's just sitting there.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
And she tells you like, all I did was copy your consciousness. It's like a 50-50. It's like a coin flip on whether or not like you specifically, like your consciousness makes the jump. There's now two versions of you.
Fuck that.
That's fucking weird.
And she's
man.
like, I've kept this one, the original you that you are no longer, is in like a stasis right now.
So you don't know if you're you or not.
You like
Becomes a crisis.
the player know that you are still you
Yeah.
Right, but
because you experienced the conscious swap,
Right.
and then you have the option of like leaving the old you there, like in a permanent set of like stasis, or you can like shut him down and kill him.
Oh my god.
you gotta kill him.
And then later
that
on,
point.
when you go to like upload yourself to the Ark,
Yeah.
you do the whole thing again, but you stay.
Oh.
This episode
Ah.
brought to you by the show You.
You.
Yeah.
So you upload your consciousness, but it's just you didn't succeed on the coin flip this time, and you're stuck in the body that is
And
you
then
at
a
the bottom of
copy
the ocean.
you is
so
going on
fucked.
the ark.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
And like your character just starts flipping out. He's like mad.
I bet, dude.
I'd call it quits
Holy
after that shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a.
It's a
I'd
very cool
never
game.
Heard of that.
Very cool game.
So what's the name one more time?
Soma.
Soma. Okay, cool, man. I'll have to
No,
look
that
into
sounds
shit.
good.
Definitely cool. I think it might be. I don't know if it's in the PlayStation catalog still or not, but I think it was.
Oh shit! I'll definitely peep that then. Hell yeah, man.
Very cool. And I think there's even like if you just want to experience the story, I think they have a mode where like the spooky monsters aren't even there, so you don't
Wow.
have to worry about like
Jump scares
like
and shit.
yeah, like failing like the events because you can't escape the monsters.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Gotcha. Okay, cool, man.
So you could play it for
Just
a
like
challenge
exactly.
or just
There's like
plot.
accessibility options.
Well, that's
so-
cool.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah,
Alright.
so that's my number 3. Pretty cool, spooky underwater. Because
Yeah.
like just deep underwater shit like that gets me.
Same. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a fan of being underwater or like in the sky at any
Yeah.
capacity.
I don't even like being above the water, like in the middle of the ocean.
big
Fucking horrific.
big thalassophobia.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Submechanophobia.
Mr. Burgundy, you're number 3.
Is unedited footage of a bear.
Okay.
Nice. That's a
Yeah,
good
dude.
pick.
That's a good one, man. Adult
ahead.
Swim nailed it on that shit.
Yeah, so that's part of the infomercial series that Adult
Mhm.
Swim did. These super interesting concept because, you know, you can wake up at 2 a.m. if you just have Adult Swim playing. And this thing would start out and you think it's a commercial.
Yeah, dude.
And it would
it's
just, can you imagine
terrifying.
like seeing it like that for the first time?
Dude,
Because this is just a huge.
Insane. And that was written and
Derail.
directed by Alan Resnick, who is the guy who did the Live Forever as You Are Now.
Oh, for real?
Same dude.
Okay, so
Really?
he has 2 in that series then.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Did he play?
He
some
actually has
part
3
in,
because he did
This house has people in it. Yeah.
That's
also-
one
he
that I
also
wanna
Yeah,
see.
that was
that.
a really good one too.
I want to see that one. I heard it's pretty fucking
That one almost
spooky.
made the list.
Yeah, really?
That
Okay.
one's very good.
So walk us through unedited
Yeah,
footage. of a
unedited
bear.
footage of a bear is like a fake commercial for allergy medicine of some sort.
Yeah.
which turns out to, I mean, it's very clearly not allergy medicine. It's some sort of psychosis type of drug.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, the happy commercial, you know, woman with her kids playing in a park and shit, single mom, you know, just holding it together for the family.
It's just like a soup. It starts out super just corporate.
It's literally you just like the stock footage you'd see for one of those like antidepressant or anti-anxiety commercials,
Literally.
or like Advil or something.
I guess even before this, it does
I
start
take
out.
Excedrin.
Yeah. Even before this, it's just
It
like
is
10 seconds. Of
It
a
is
bear.
unedited. They're like, it's unedited footage of a bear, and it starts out, and then they're like, okay, we're cutting to commercial.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so good. But eventually she ends up jumping in the van. You know, the commercial's over. The narrator's voice is like slowly fading into the background.
Isn't he still just listing side effects?
Yeah,
though?
just
Like,
side effects of
for a
like suicidal
long-ass time.
thoughts
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
all sorts of shit. She starts rummaging through the card trying to find another hit, you know, another
Yeah.
little dose, but it's nothing but empty medicine boxes and shit.
It's fucked up, man. It gets
Dude,
dark.
and the music just like goes away, and that's when the tension just really starts building.
Yeah.
She starts driving through her little suburban development or whatever, you
Right.
know, rich people
when she
places.
sees her double in the rear view mirror.
Oh, fuck.
Dude.
Did that? I can't remember if that happened after or before she crossed that murder scene.
I think it happens like right after.
Yeah.
Something like
It's like
that.
it's like getting dark at that point, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
Yeah, even the coloration drops because the colors aren't like
Turns
as
very blue, doesn't
saturated.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very just like a dim hue
Yeah.
of some sort. But yeah, she passes by this murder scene where someone got clapped by their double.
Yeah.
You know, I'm assuming that the double is like addictive personality of
Yeah.
some sort.
Right.
She bumps into her double.
Uh-huh.
You know, starts chasing her down in the van. That's where it got fucking
Runs her over.
Yeah.
She runs her double over. And it becomes like, does she get into her house and it becomes this whole chase?
Oh,
scene?
dude!
She
like,
runs the double
She runs
over,
the double
but then
over,
the
then the
double
double
gets
takes the
up.
van.
Yeah, and then like
Oh.
beats the shit out of her and takes the van.
She ends
goes
up running her
home.
over too.
Yeah, runs her over and then goes home.
The double goes home.
Yeah.
To the house. Holy
Because
shit.
then
And the
she
mom's
fucking like
crawling.
Yeah, and then she has the fucking kids like tied up and shit.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
fucking god.
Yeah, and it
dude.
gets super weird because it's jumping between different like timelines of how shit happens. So you
Yeah.
have the main
This is
character.
all 11 minutes, by the way. This is
Yeah.
an 11-minute experience.
That's how much you can do with 11 minutes.
It's great. It does. It shows a lot, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude. Like it's got the main character mom just got ran over by a van. She's trying
She's
to
just
crawl
crawling.
home
Yeah.
to beat the double to the house where the kids are at. Then you have another version of the main character mom trying to call the first version to warn her
Yeah.
about what's going to happen. And then you have the initial double like popping out of presents, like ready to clap these kids.
Oh my god.
You
dude,
know, and
Oh
I
my
think
god, this scene when they come down the stairs to the big wall of presents and she just fucking
that's
bursts
so
through.
good,
yeah.
dude.
Holy Christ.
Oh my god.
Pops out looking like a lunatic. She looks like the main character in Hereditary.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
how
when
she
she's like-
chases the kid through the house.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
Holy shit.
It's so
Again,
good.
dude, just imagine catching it from the beginning, just waking up in a fog.
The first time I watched that, I was on acid. Actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was
dude.
a nightmare.
I was
Like,
gonna say, how do you even interpret that?
I was
Like,
watching all the infomercials on like HBO Max or some shit.
that's like
Yeah.
I feel like that's possibly one of the worst things you could do. You're like, I'm gonna watch this fuck. Oh my! Did you know what you were getting into at all?
No idea.
Wow.
It's like
Zero
some too
clue.
many cook shit.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
too many cooks.
That's a good one.
Fucking love it. That's a great one, dude.
Yeah,
Good addition.
had no idea what I was getting into when I watched that shit high
Jesus.
though.
Oh, I bet.
And then oh my god, then the woman becomes the double. I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm
He
like,
starts looking over his shoulder. He's
yeah,
like,
I'm over here
Where's
like,
my
where's my
double?
double?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked, man.
And eventually, just the very end when the police pull up, and
Yeah.
she's just like, I don't have a gun, implying that the double shot the kids.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
You know, but the flashing red and blue just all over her
Yeah.
while you're tripping
Yep.
balls is just so intense. I'm looking out my window thinking that like there's real cop cars pulling up. Like it was so
Jesus,
fun.
man.
It
You
was
guys
a
have had
great time.
It was a great time.
Yeah,
I had a
dude.
heart attack and a half.
Hey, if you're not gonna get a little scared on acid, why are you doing
Oh
acid?
God.
Shout out to Alan Resnick.
Holy shit. That's a good number 3, man. All right.
What about you, Zach? What's your number 3?
I have for my number 3 an A24 film. Came out
Ooh.
in 2015. It's called Green Room. I have talked to you about it
Yeah.
a little bit,
I have not seen that.
dude. You're gonna relate to it. Any
Let's
any
go.
musicians who play live and do any kind of touring or anything like that,
Any
you're gonna
performance art?
100% relate to this. It's about a punk band on tour, dude.
Been there.
And they like go on this dude's podcast. He's like a punk rock dude. He's got a mohawk. He's
Classic.
interviewing them while they're on tour. He was supposed to have a show set up for them, and it fell through.
Mm.
So he's like, "Wait, I've got this club I can get you guys into. I just need to call my cousin up or some shit." So they go to play this gig out in the boonies. We're driving through the woods to get to this place.
Those are the spookiest.
It's pretty packed. You walk in and there's a lot of people with not hair. A lot of
There's a
skin
whole
on
lot
their
of
heads.
skin on their heads.
Whole lot of skin
Gotcha.
on their heads. They got red laces on.
Oh
Uh,
boy! And so there's.
Can you guess
I'm sure
what,
they have an '88 Rising banner
dude?
Yikes.
So imagine
playing.
coming in here.
You know '88 Rising, they're cool.
As a punk rock band going to perform, and you immediately recognize that these guys are a bunch of fucking skinheads. What do you think the first song they play is when they play?
When the skinheads play, or
No,
when the
it's
punk
No,
band
this
the
plays?
punk band
coming
shows
in to
up.
play for the skinheads.
Oh god!
That they didn't know obviously didn't know they were going to be a bunch of skinheads here. What do you think the punk band plays? It's a cover.
What was it? Something about Nazi punks?
You got it.
Yeah,
Nazi punks fuck off by the
Yeah,
Dead
that's-
Kennedys.
Dude, such a good one. I love the Dead Kennedys.
And it becomes this super visceral moment where it goes into slow motion and you don't hear them anymore.
But
They're just rocking on stage, and then the Nazis are fucking like flicking them off.
yeah,
and
like fuck you,
throwing shit at them. And,
Oh,
I mean, you
God.
gotta know your audience, dude.
it's crazy. So then it gets real fucking scary, man. They basically
Yeah, I would be scared as shit.
after their performance, they're
You're
in
in the middle of the woods, surrounded by skinheads.
Yeah.
Like,
and you
that's
just
never
played
good.
Nazi punks fuck off. for them.
Yeah, like that's.
So you end up in this room wherever they take their gear after they play or whatever, and they witness a murder. They walk in, they're just like ready to just kind of get their shit and leave, and there's a woman dead on the floor and a skinhead standing above her.
Oh boy.
So it's like, oh guys, wait, no, you can't leave yet. Hold on, stay right here. We got to go get somebody to talk about this before you guys leave. So just stay right here, okay? And the band's like, no,
no, we're leaving.
And then it becomes, no, you're staying.
No,
You're staying.
You are staying, actually.
So it becomes an escape room type situation.
Oh my
Escape
They're
the
stuck in
venue
this
full of
green
Nazis
room,
with
yeah.
machetes and bats and fucking dogs. Big dogs ready to
This
eat
sounds
you
like
alive.
any punk show in Ohio. Literally.
Ah, dude, ouch.
Dude, you've been there. You know what it is.
We've seen some shit.
Yeah, we've seen some Nazis.
This movie is another one I could watch every year. It's such
Really?
what's his fucking name, man? Dr. Xavier from X-Men.
Which one?
Old.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Nailed it.
He plays the fucking owner of the club.
Oh my
dude.
God.
my god.
He's the motherfucker that rolls up when they're like, "We got a situation, boss." You guys would love this movie, like, absolutely. You got to watch it. Seek that shit out.
They
It's
would get the
great.
guy that's famous for being bald to
Yeah,
play that head
exactly,
of the
dude.
skinheads.
Oh my god! So,
Jesus.
yeah, that's my number 3.
That's a really cool choice. I like that.
That is a
Thank you.
good one.
For
I've
anybody
heard
who's
of it,
played
but I haven't
live.
seen it.
Yeah. I have to pee.
Back. Come here, come on.
Oh shit! Fuck. Is this...
Oh, he's not ready.
Shit,
He's not
fuck.
ready.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, let me just. I just gotta get her a little closer.
Why don't you have a collar on?
Yeah, I think I'm good. My foot here.
Oh,
Is this
She
all right,
wants to be a
Davis?
part of the process.
she just wants to be a part of the pod. Go on, girl.
Come on.
She's
What's your
so good
number
at
2,
hiding.
Mira?
Right. Come on.
What's your number 2 favorite horror movie, Mira?
He's done it.
Didn't mean for it to slam that hard.
All right, so yeah, that's my number 3. Let's move on to the number 2 for you boys.
All right.
We already talked about The Shining as mine, so what do you got for us, Andrew?
My number 2 is Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2. Let's go.
I love Resident Evil 2. I grew up watching like my brother play it.
And yeah, we're talking like canted at camera angle Resident Evil 2
Yes,
here.
like the OG Resident Evil 2 is what
Holy
I like
shit.
grew up watching my brother play. That and then I saw him play Resident Evil 4.
Was it on the N64 or did he have it on like PlayStation or
He had it
something?
on PlayStation.
Okay, cool.
And then playing the remake that came out a couple years ago.
Oh, the remake was incredible, dude.
I just love how like Resident Evil 1 is cool because it's in a mansion or whatever.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil 2 being in like the whole city,
The
of
city, the
the
sewers.
sewers, the
police
underground
station's
lab,
so cool.
the police station,
Yeah.
all the different like locales that the game had were super dope.
right.
Also, just Leon Kennedy is
He's the fucking
he's
man.
the
It's
man.
my first day.
it's literally my first day in town, first day on the job, joining the Raccoon City Police Department. And I come in and there's a fucking zombie apocalypse. Are you shitting me?
How am I supposed to clean this mess up, huh?
Who do I arrest for this?
He's cuffing zombies.
This literally sounds like Hot
Reading.
Fuzz, though. Like, new cop comes to town.
Hot Fuzz
There's
is beautiful,
crazy
dude.
shit popping off.
That's a good honorable mention as well.
It was. But yeah, just the way, like, getting trapped in the police department and working your way through it.
And the
then-
zombies are rough in that game, dude. They'll
Yeah.
keep the thing about the zombies in the old games is they keep getting up. They will.
You have to shoot them in the head, dude.
Right. Or it's game over.
And then, like, as you progress through the game, the department starts getting filled with different infected. Like, when the liquors start coming out, dude.
It's so scary because you're like
You're just
you're
walking
looking at
through
the
a
map,
hall.
trying to figure out the best way to get where you need to get this certain puzzle piece. You're like, great. There's still a liquor in that hallway I haven't killed.
I got Mr.
left-
X chasing me.
Yeah, I left 3 fucking zombies in this hallway because, like, honestly, that it's really survival based in those games. You
Yes.
need to conserve your ammo if you can. Sometimes there's no point in killing all the
Mhm.
zombies.
Right.
You got to pick and choose
Yes.
where to clear areas out, and I always found that really interesting.
That's
It's,
where I
it's a
always
very
fucked
fun
up.
dynamic.
Right, you're
always
just, like,
fucked up. I'm
capping
just
everything,
Kill
dude.
everybody, then I'm out of shit, and more pop up.
And
Time
then,
to
and then you
restart my
go
save
into a
file.
boss fight with no ammo, and you just have to use your knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved the zombies in that. Like and going
zombie
into
gator.
I was just about to say going into the sewers. Yeah, man. And then just like the other like it's really cool that there's like the A story and the B story.
Yeah.
So like when
sure, man.
you beat the game and then you just play through it again as Claire and you get like a different story.
There's different paths.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's different things that are accessible for her when she reaches the police station. As opposed to
as
Leon.
opposed to Leon, you don't get the same items. Things are placed differently.
Right.
Like Leon meets like Ada Wong
Yeah.
throughout the game in several locations, and they kind of have a thing going on.
Right.
Whereas Claire finds like a little girl that she starts to take care of.
Yeah.
Just very cool that it has like such differing storylines while still being in like the same locations.
Right. Right. I found that to be really unique about it as well. Resident Evil 2 is a great one, man. I kind of went back and played that like after playing 4 because, like I said, 4 was the big first
Yeah.
one for me.
Yeah.
I played 3 a lot when I was younger. and
4
didn't
is the
know what
one
was
that I
doing.
have like the most memories of.
Yeah.
But 2 is the one that like I got to replay recently and
Yeah, when that
enjoy
remake came out, it was great. Just re-experiencing it, and it just looked so good. They did so good with that game.
Oh yeah, the infected in that game looks so spooky.
Oh yeah. Didn't play the Resident Evil 3 remake,
Yeah, I didn't get to that one either.
but I am very excited for the 4 remake.
Yeah,
Super
Resident Evil
stoked.
4 remake is going to be insane.
The problem I had with Resident Evil 4 trying to go back and play it like on old consoles is that you aim with a red dot and you can't see it for shit. You're trying to shoot shit far away, and it's
You
like,
can-
and he's so shaky, dude.
You can move and aim in the new one,
Really,
In the
see,
remake.
that fucking sucked in Resident Evil 4. You'd have to run back
and then
and then turn
Plant
around.
your
real
feet.
quick.
Literally the whole game, run backwards,
Yeah, dude.
and you gotta stop it. I probably just said that.
you had to like master the quick turn.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
God.
Great choice, man. Is there somebody's storyline that you preferred?
I mean,
over the other?
I just love Leon.
he's the man, dude.
Like Claire is just down bad for Leon, but Leon is like but Leon
Yeah.
is down bad for Ada.
Yeah,
And it's
Yeah,
just
he is.
so funny.
Like, who is she? Who is this woman?
Oh, she's a detective, but she's not a detective. I love her. She's
my first
mysterious
date.
and that's hot and it's my first day here.
It is pretty hot though.
Holy shit! And you get this. They have a
Anyway,
dynamic
hand
in
me the
four.
RPG.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
But
Nice, man. Cool.
yes, that's my number 2.
Burgundy,
My
what do
number
you got?
2. You guys ever hear of Jack Stauber?
I don't think
He does some work with Adult Swim.
That's a nope for me.
That's a Nope. Nope's a good one too.
Nope is a good one.
Yeah. That's an honorable mention. But there's I want to call it a short film or something like that, but it's called Opal.
Okay. Opal.
Yeah, it's like a mixed animation type situation where they have stop motion and claymation and like
Okay.
also it's some cheap CGI.
Why do I feel like I've seen like a poster for this before?
Yeah.
Opal.
Yeah, look it up. Like you might have seen something about it.
So what's the story? Like, what is it
The
about?
story,
Oh god, the art, man.
yeah, it looks crazy, doesn't it?
Dude, wait. Is this the guy who would make like songs and stuff and like?
Yeah, he's
I
got
know
a few
who
songs
he
in here.
is.
Yeah, dude.
Shit. Very, very. I don't even know how to describe
This
this
shit
feeling.
makes me like the visual of this makes me think of like the claymation that Pee-wee's Playhouse would do.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Like this
Oh shit!
image
Yep, I see
Mhm.
him.
makes me think of. Let me see if I can find it.
And my girl hates this thing. It makes her just completely uncomfortable. She won't watch
That's
it.
got to be the style. That's what he's going
yeah,
for, right?
it's the style. She hates the music.
Wow.
Because the music's creepy as shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
But the whole deal is like there's this little girl that lives in a house, right? Loving family and all that.
Right.
And the whole deal is like her family saying that they see her, she's being recognized.
Okay.
But there's this house across the street where there's a light on in the attic and she's just drawn to it for some reason that she's not aware of.
Yeah.
Her parents are like, yeah, no, don't worry about the house across the street. That is not what you should be focused on at all. They're like, don't fucking play with that shit. She decides to fuck around
And then she finds out.
and found
And
out.
she finds out.
Yeah, so she sneaks into the crib. She sneaks into the house across the street.
Yeah.
She bumps into this old guy who her name, as we know, is Opal. But this old dude, who's like a grandpa type, is calling her Claire,
Okay.
right? He's a blind man
Yeah.
who listens to the TV. That's all he does. He listens to the TV and he smokes.
You said this is the neighbor across the
yeah,
street?
this is the neighbor across the street.
Okay.
And, he coughs up blood and shit. But he
Jesus.
thinks that she's this girl, Claire, who he thinks is his granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
Right? So he asks her a simple question like, why does it sound so easy to breathe on TV? 'Cause he's a chain smoker,
Yeah.
he's blind, and all he can hear is these people singing, zero problems breathing. He has a, it's,
Yeah, it's just because Davis took out the breaths.
Davis took out the breaths. But yeah, I mean, there's this whole like song and dance number and shit, and super sketchy. She's like, "Fuck this! I'm going upstairs. I'm getting away from this guy." He starts chasing her.
Oh, okay.
And she bumps into another character who's like the dad role, who also calls her Claire. And
Jesus.
his whole deal is he's super vain and he's obsessed with his own image.
Okay.
So he's in this room, which I'm assuming is a bathroom, that's just mirrors all over the place. Like all he will look at it is
Is himself.
himself.
Wow.
And he's trying to make himself perfect because he's so beautiful and the world shunned him because he wasn't beautiful enough.
Wow.
So that's his whole deal is he's trying to make himself look good so he could go back out into the world.
Gotcha.
He doesn't look at her either. So the first one was blind.
Yeah.
So he can't see her, and then the
This guy's
second
only
one is
looking at
only
himself.
looking at himself.
Gotcha.
Grandpa keeps chasing her though, so
Oh, God.
she has to fucking take off into the attic. The
Yeah.
whole main
It's like reverse Child of Isaac. Is that what it's called? Or
Binding of Isaac.
Binding
it's
of
like
Isaac.
reverse Binding of Isaac. She's going up instead of going down.
Exactly. That's a good game too.
Oh, it's
I love that
crazy.
shit. But yeah, so she goes up into the attic. There's a woman who is the mother figure.
Okay.
You know, who she's a drug addict, alcoholic, and she sees Claire, but she only which is the Opal character.
Yeah.
But she only sees her in the context of her own
Are these
trauma.
claymation characters?
Yes, they are.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah, and their
fucking
like teeth
horrifying.
look real.
Oh
Nice.
god.
Yeah, dude, it's super spooky. But she only sees Claire in the way of we're bonding through my trauma type shit. I have to lean on you. You're my support system
Oh wow. Okay.
type of situation, which freaks her out. So she
Yeah.
fucking finally makes it to the top where the light was.
Oh okay.
Finally makes it to the top into the attic, and it's just this barren, rugged-looking bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's a girl's bedroom. And at this point, you know,
right
we
up there.
find out that it's her bedroom.
Oh.
So this is her family in the house,
Oh,
her
God.
real family. She looks at what was her house across the street, and it's a
Yeah.
billboard of a happy family.
Oh fuck,
Oh,
dude.
jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very good shit.
Very psychological.
Is this
Yeah,
like an
really
11-minute
psychological.
film? Like,
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
so it did air on Adult Swim. you
Yeah,
said?
it aired
Okay.
on Adult Swim.
I'm going to watch. That's
Oh, dude,
nuts.
the music's catchy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Ship what's
It
best. of.
becomes a William Street production.
Oh my god.
Yes, dude.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's
the
fucked
claymation can get to me as well. So like this family dynamic, this family dysfunction,
Yep.
very interesting.
And I just love the foreshadowing how, like, in the very beginning, her family is singing, "We see you, Opal."
Yeah.
Like, you're seen, you're recognized. And then she goes into reality where she's not seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
You know?
That's
it's
crazy.
just fucked up. It's also relatable.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
for sure.
That's a great choice, man. Wow.
Yeah, we out here, bro. Fucking
All right, dude.
definitely gotta watch that shit.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Like,
I might check that out
the
tonight,
second time I watched that, I was on acid.
man. God
Jeez.
damn,
Yeah.
dude. You're just like, I'm gonna drop some shit and,
and just-
subject myself.
To just
internal horror.
nightmares.
Oh my god.
Just nightmares. The Dad, the Mirror song, like that shit's the best one. It's so catchy.
You like that one?
It's so
Okay.
good, and he's got this like weird distortion on his voice.
Oh god.
So there's like a high pitch of him singing and like a demonically low pitch of
oh
him.
wow.
And it's just overlapped so beautifully.
All right.
It's fucked up.
We'll have to check that shit out,
Oh,
man.
for sure.
Yeah, we talked about my number 2, so we're on to the number 1, boys.
Okay.
What do we got, Andrew?
My number one, kind of like defined horror for me throughout like my high school career.
Okay.
It's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Oh,
So good.
there it is.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Like the original 6 like episodes that are on YouTube, and then also like the 6-episode TV series
Yeah.
on BBC. Both. Like the original YouTube series is like so like viscerally horrifying.
Absolutely, dude.
The way that it just like hits out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
And it's
especially
just like,
your first time watching
the very
first
first one, dude.
one is just
Yeah.
an experience,
what's
dude.
your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Dude, my god.
Crazy. It's just, you know, a
This
bunch
is
of-
like similarly to how claymation can be fucking horrifying.
it's like
this is
puppets.
puppets,
Yeah. Like Sesame Street. If
Right.
it was like like if the puppets that were teaching you like the lessons of the stories ended up being like terrifying.
Yeah.
It freaked me the fuck out. Like, it was terrifying when I found out that green was not a creative color.
Yeah. Shattered your world.
Yeah, it just
It
completely
broke.
destroyed.
Like the Notebook isn't like necessarily, it's like in the first episode it's about a notebook teaching
Yeah.
them about creativity. It's not, the Notebook itself isn't necessarily scary, but like the shit that happens around it is just unsettling, and it builds and builds and builds until it gets to this like discordant,
Yeah.
like cacophony of like sound and
Yeah.
visual horror and
Like meat just
When they
being
cut the
dragged
cake.
across the floor.
the heart that they like roll around in glitter.
Oh,
yeah.
The meat cake as they're like
Jesus
they had
Christ.
like the puppets turn into like life-size versions of them,
Yeah.
and they're just dancing around it, like
It's fucking scary, dude.
yeah. And then it just cuts back to normal, and it's like, now let's all agree to never be creative again.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like they're just honing in on the dark side of creativity and like
Mhm.
some kind of rabbit hole you can go down.
The second episode is about time,
Favorite
and
episode,
they use
best
it's
episode.
all about
The clock's your
the
favorite
clock.
one.
I love the clock.
I like the
dude.
clock, and I like the computer.
The
Computer's good.
computer's great.
The clock is just teaching about time, and they start like aging to like bones.
It's fucked, dude. What does he say while it's happening?
Make it stop.
Make it stop. What does the clock say? He says something that's so haunting as
Um,
they're melting.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. But eventually, everyone runs out of time.
Yeah, dude. As
Fuck
they're just
that.
like screaming and melting.
God.
It's so good. It's like a children's show presented at the beginning, and it just gets so.
It just
fucked up.
yeah.
I have to show that to my niece now.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
I did
God.
not realize that.
Don't do it.
She's like almost 3, so I
Oh
think
my
Stop!
god. My man is
She-
like, let's traumatize a
she
kid.
has like a year before she understands
Oh
what
my
negative is.
God.
Holy shit.
Third episode is about like a religious cult.
Oh, the
essentially.
bee.
Yeah,
That one
the
got
pesky
weird, man.
bee. The fourth one is about technology and the internet, and you know the horrors that lay behind that.
Oh yeah.
Fifth episode is about food, and that one I think is like the most like
That's the scariest.
that's
one.
the most visually disturbing.
That's
one
when
for
the Roy
me.
character gets more involved, isn't it?
Roy's in the fourth one too, but
Yeah.
he I think helps set things up for the fifth episode as well. Yeah, the fifth one is about like the gray white sauce. Plain white sauce makes your teeth go gray.
Yeah.
God.
And then the sixth episode is like when it just gets meta.
Yeah, the sixth episode got crazy. They're like, we're gonna try to wrap this thing up, and like
And they
They fucking nailed
They
it.
did.
though.
they
They
did.
did.
I mean, it,
Like the whole reveal with Red Guy like making a children's TV show. and-
yeah.
then he just pulls the plug on it.
That's why I was
Yeah.
surprised that they came back.
Yeah, and then they did, and
With the
then
show.
just recently they got picked up by the BBC
Which is fucking
Big
bizarre.
play.
to
Big
do a
plays.
six 20-minute episodes.
And you showed me some of it, and it's a lot different. Like there's
It's-
still like there is some scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's funnier. There's more.
It's more
jokes, kind of.
comedic. The characters have more personality.
Yeah,
It's more long form shit.
but it still also gets like the lessons. Like there's still darkness in the lessons.
In the lessons.
I mean,
yeah.
episode 3 or whatever is death.
Yeah, the second episode is about death, and it just one of the characters, the duck, is like, "Well, I'm dead,"
He's reading the morning's newspaper.
and they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yep, it says right here in the newspaper that I'm definitely dead." And then he stands up, and his heart falls out, and then they're like, "Is that did that fall out of you?" And it rolls across the carpet to like the hardwood floor,
Yeah,
dissolves into the ground, and then like flesh and like sinew comes out and like rips the floorboards apart, and it all just like combines, and then it just pops up, and it's like a full-on coffin puppet, and he's just like, "Hey, how are you? Sorry about that."
yeah. He's like, excuse that.
He's like, "Oh, which one of you is dead?" And then they just
It's
go into
so
like it's a whole
soothing.
thing about like dealing with like the stages of grief when somebody dies.
Yeah.
And like dealing with, they're not coming back. Also dealing with death from the side of being the one who's dead.
Yeah, dude.
Very, very crazy. Just
So
the
you
whole
said that's
show.
on the BBC. Are you watching that through like a certain streaming platform?
So actually, if you just, I'm not gonna like name names so they don't get taken down, but there's a YouTube channel that is just re-uploaded all 6 episodes
love it.
for
So
free.
hit that shit up.
So you can, if you just look it up on YouTube, you should be able to find it.
Good shit, man. That's a really good number one. We watched that shit. Like it was coming
Yeah.
out when we were in high school.
That's the thing. It was like formative to me in high school.
It was like right after Salad Fingers or something.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
And then now that it's come back and I've watched it, I really enjoyed it. The new run of it.
yeah,
Very, very cool show. Check it out.
I have to give it a go.
It's free on YouTube, so just watch it.
So just watch
The
it.
the original series, I think, ends up being like a little over half an hour long.
It's
Yeah,
very
short
manageable.
form.
It's like watching one episode. or
So
something.
yeah,
So definitely start with the OG. I would say.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
crazy.
And watch the film theory on it, dude.
I have watched the
man
film.
is
There's a
just-
whole background with Roy and like commentary
Yeah.
on endorsing products like
Yeah.
the role that advertisers have in the production of media.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I did watch that one. I don't remember all of it, but it was super interesting.
Yeah, very informative shit.
Number one for you.
My number one is Oculus. Have you seen Oculus?
I've heard the name.
I've
Oculus.
not.
It is a great movie. Basically, it revolves around a haunted mirror.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
I have seen this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
really?
You
Or I
know-
haven't seen it, but I know
Heard
of
you,
it. Yeah.
You've seen of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the family in a house, loving family and shit. 2 kids, mom and dad, ideal situation, big ass rich people crib and shit.
Yeah.
But they have this mirror and it's haunted, and shit pops off, leads to the mom getting clapped
Okay.
by being killed by the dad, and then the son ends up killing the dad out of self-defense.
Whoa. Okay.
And this is how the movie starts.
Yeah.
Right? Son gets put into a mental institution because he killed his dad
Right.
and thinks that ghosts are responsible for the whole family dynamic falling apart and shit.
With the mirror. And
Yeah, with
Okay.
the mirror and all that. And then the daughter ends up going to school and like studying this mirror, and she's super obsessed with it, like trying to find out how
Yeah.
it works and what happened. So later on, they're in adulthood. He gets out of the psych ward, links back up with the sister. He's over it, right? He's
Yeah.
like, I've moved on. I did this terrible thing. I'm
it didn't have
Gucci.
anything to do with that.
Yeah, nothing to do with the
Yeah.
mirror. It's just like shit popped off. But the sister's still obsessed. She's just like, yeah, I found the mirror. I brought it back to the house.
Oh my god.
Yeah, here's a ton of cameras and like documentation and shit. We're gonna find out.
So she's like, "Welcome home, brother.
Yeah, basically.
Welcome back
home.
to the nightmare that you have finally moved on from."
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
And it gets super fucking bad because this whole time he's like, I just got out of a psych ward.
right.
I know healthy coping mechanisms. You are not being healthy. This is
Yeah.
obsessive. And she's like, no, you're brainwashed. You're a crazy person.
Wow.
Like, this is real.
So this dynamic between them is really
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
okay.
it's to the point where you can understand both sides of it, too.
Right. Yeah.
So like one's mentally well and the other one supposedly is, but she's obsessed about a mirror.
Right.
Well, shit turns out to be very real. The psych ward did not teach him shit.
Yeah.
This mirror is very haunted,
Gotcha.
and there's nothing you can do about it after a certain point.
Nice.
But and we start like flashing back to see the possession of the mom, and
okay.
she
so-
ends up like chained up on the wall in her bedroom by the dad to
Holy
keep the
shit.
kids safe.
Yeah.
So that's
Was
a
this a
fun
newer
reveal.
movie, too?
Yeah, it
I
came
thought
out
so.
like what year? Because I have the year written down. I'm over here operating with one hand. 2020.
2020. Okay. Yeah,
Wait, no,
thought
not
No,
2020.
2013.
2013.
2013.
Yeah, I have 2014. Yeah, I was looking at the
Yeah,
wrong one.
2014.
Oh, gotcha.
April 11th.
So
Okay.
2014, this came out. So it's a little older, but
But I definitely have known the name, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
dude, it's very good.
I
And-
like the relationship. Like I like the characters of the brother and the sister already.
and the mirror starts fucking with their minds.
Yeah.
Like it starts putting them back into like their child form,
Gotcha.
firsthand experiencing the possession and shit. There's stuff moving by itself, and
Wow.
it gets really nuts. The climax, big spoiler, is there is this failsafe that the sister set up.
Gotcha.
She has a pendulum with like a giant blade on it. And she goes, if shit goes too south, we press this button, pendulum slams into the mirror, destroys the mirror.
Gotcha.
Right? Shit was going too south.
That seems really complex to break a
she
mirror.
was fucking ready, dude.
Boom.
She's
There's many different things you have to do.
You just jump into it, right?
We're going into
well,
the mirror.
well,
now.
well, on that note, shit starts popping off, right?
Yeah.
So the brother goes, this is way too much. I'm destroying this mirror. Hits the button. Guess who's standing in front of it?
His dad.
His sister.
Oh shit.
She's standing in front of it. She was observing it, but the mirror fucked with his mind, so all he could see was the mirror. He couldn't see her in front of it.
This poor fucking guy,
Jesus.
dude.
And
dude.
accidentally kills his sister.
Cool.
Cops pull up,
Cool.
put him in the car.
Cool.
His past is repeating. He just killed a family member because of this mirror.
It's her fucking fault, dude. He wanted to get.
But then you
God
also have the
damn.
point of view that he just came out of an insane asylum, basically.
Yeah.
So now we have an unreliable narrator
You're
telling
not wrong.
us that this is all what's happening.
So we're seeing it through
supposedly.
his view, pretty much.
Yeah,
most of the
mostly. It like goes between him and his sister, but
got you.
when it really wraps up, it's like this is his recount of the story.
movie. Okay.
You know what I mean? So as far as we're aware, he's just a crazy person, or ghosts are real. Which
That-
one is
Yeah.
most likely?
Okay.
It's fun stuff.
Really
It's
cool.
definitely
Really
fun
tricks,
stuff.
like, definitely psychological as well.
Psychological horror, definitely. It fucks with your expectations because after a
Those are
certain
my
point,
favorite movies.
you think it's going to be about the parents and that possession situation and shit.
Right.
But all it does is feeds into the main storyline.
Okay.
You know, it's so good.
So I'm checking that out for sure.
Yeah, pretty
Got a whole
cool.
bunch of new movies to watch.
That
There
is
you
an
go.
A1 recommendation. Like,
Very
it is
good.
my favorite scary movie right now.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
What
Well-
about you, Gacky boy?
I've got one. We did talk about this on our slasher episode a little bit, but it's just so near and dear to me. It's so personal. It's one that I've loved for
It's
so
Yell,
long.
right?
It's
It's Yell, right?
No.
Stab?
No.
It's Stab. Yeah, it's Stab. Fucking Scream, dude. Yeah. Dude. I fucking love Scream. 1996, that shit came out and kind of it breathed new life into
horror.
like the slasher and horror genres, man. The first scene is just it's unforgettable. It's one of the first movies that made me scared that somebody was going to enter my home,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to my knowledge, because it's like, oh shit, did I lock the front door? Oh god, is
Are
the
you that
window
person
locked?
too? Do you check all the like doors
Yeah,
and
dude, my
windows?
shit's locked at night.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what
my
I'm
God.
saying, bro.
You watch too many scary movies,
People think
dude.
I'm crazy.
Nah, dude, yeah. That was the first movie that really put that fear into me, and that mask was haunting.
Yeah,
The
no,
first
that
time I
mask
saw
is
it.
definitely.
It
fucked
still
up.
is, man. Just the hanging mouth. There's something about it, dude.
I
Fucking
remember
Ghostface.
all the cool kids growing up for Halloween would have the ghost face mask
Yeah.
with the heart pump that
That-
would make the
oh,
I
I-
had that. I had that, dude.
Dude, no.
Bloody knife.
Definitely
And the
a
bloody
cool
knife,
kid.
yeah.
I was the kid that had the not fucking blood masks, and I was looking at the kids with the blood mask, and I was like, man,
I wish I had a blood.
I
That's
wish
so
I had
cool.
that. I'm gonna snatch it.
No, legit though.
Dude, yeah. So, and it just like it was so aware of itself,
Mm-hmm.
but also still scary as fuck. Like they were playing on every scary movie that had been made up
Yeah.
until that point.
Identifying all the tropes,
Exactly, and just
but still like
Also
executing
propelling
it
it-
perfect.
executing it perfectly and in such a unique way. And when it first came out, it was such a big twist at the end that everybody, I mean, it's just not, you're never going to have that experience again. Like Scream
Yeah.
2 was dope. Loved it. Scream 3, haven't seen as many times. It was just starting to get old. I've only seen Scream 4 once. I will say that the new Scream that came out was fun. It was really good. It gave me the feeling of the first movie again, just in this new generation. I think
Yeah.
they executed that really well too. But you just can't beat the classic.
Right.
For sure.
Like I said, we talked about it the last episode, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to give it one more shout out because, like, I can't lie. It's like I fucking love Scream, dude.
Oh, for sure.
He's my favorite slasher. He's just a dude.
He's
And it's
just a
somebody
dude.
different every time.
I
He's not
just
always a dude,
love-
I will say.
It's not necessarily a horror movie, but
Yeah.
scary movie.
Scary Movie 1 is
With-
fucking legendary,
yes.
dude.
Yes.
Legendary. I
When
love
she's
it.
running through the backyard
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah, dude. Fucking
God.
what's up?
Classic.
You're gonna
Not
Dude,
much, just chilling.
The fish tank
killing.
Yeah. The fish tank bong is that what you
Bong,
said?
dude. Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne's brothers, for being legends.
Fucking for real, man.
My number one is Mr. Meaty.
Mr.
Mr.
Meaty
Meaty.
Davis is
Dude.
number
Fuck
one.
No, that's so
Yeah.
funny because last night
That was on my
I showed
honorable
I
mentions.
showed Zach a clip from the fourth episode, like the fourth 20-minute episode of
Which
Don't
one
Hug Me,
was
I'm
it?
Scared.
Oh, okay.
And the teacher in that episode is like a worm,
Yeah, dude.
like a full like full size worm that talks. And this puppet looks like something out of Mr. Meaty.
He had the
That's
eyes.
awesome.
He had the Mr. Meaty eyes,
He had
dude.
the gross mouth.
God, what a weird fucking show.
Dude,
For
what a
real. You've really
great
blasted me
show.
back now, Davis. I'm gonna have fucking nightmares tonight.
I just watched season 2 last week.
Really?
Yeah, so
Of
it's
Mr.
funny you say-
Meaty?
Of Mr.
You're
Meaty.
not rewatching
Yeah,
that
Like
show.
this dude looks like he's
Oh yeah, he
straight
was
out of
straight
Mr.
out
Meaty.
of Mr. Meaty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I watched
Well-
season 2 last week, bro.
That's
Straight
Because
out-
I can't
straight
find
out of it.
season 1 anywhere.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous.
I just remember the episode of Mr. Meaty where the chicken comes to life,
I don't remember any of it because like
And
I
then they-
blocked it.
and then they like kill it in the freezer, or
That's
he dies
awesome.
in the freezer, and then they're like, "Who's hungry?"
Oh, cool.
Dude, the
Jesus
vegans,
Christ.
the vegans that like once a year they go cannibal.
What?
Yeah, dude.
That's in
It's,
Mr. Meaty.
That's in a children's show. That is child programming.
Oh my god! All
Thank
right,
you,
Mr.
Mr.
Meaty
Meaty.
wins the scariest program of all time.
Mr.
Jesus.
Definitely a big one.
Well, dudes, great list.
As I say, everybody had some pretty cool shit in their lists.
Absolutely. One of my favorites. I loved Courage. That was a great one.
Courage was a great one. I love how
Burgundy, you popped off on some shit that I haven't ever heard of, so that was really good too.
we had
I
2
knew you
Shaun of the
would,
Deads.
Shaun of the Dead. Fucking love it. All right. Well, that concludes our spooky season. I had a great month.
Yeah,
Thanks for
dude.
coming on so much, Burgundy.
Absolutely.
We were fucking spooking out. So
Our spooky spirits are leaving our body as we speak, and
yeah, we're being exercised as we speak.
we're returning to just normal dudes.
Until Mariah Carey probes us.
Until
Stop,
Mariah
stop.
Carey.
I can already hear
All I
bells. I
want
can hear
for-
bells.
Oh man. All right, guys. Until next time, this has been the Storyworks podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Hit us up anytime on YouTube. Email us at storyworkspodcast.
Get your plug in.
I'm gonna plug my
I was gonna say,
shit.
get your plug in.
November 30th, album's dropping, project over product. Shit's gonna be great. Been working on it for a year. We
Let's
got
go.
freestyle coming out before that. Stay tuned for that. And then on November 18th, we'll be dropping the daily music video.
We filmed that shit like a year ago.
Yeah, like a
and
year
I'm
ago.
so excited.
Yeah, and people have been
Get hyped.
really wanting that shit to come out too. Like I've been holding on to this for the album drop. So
Oh, yeah.
when you guys see that shit, 1, tap in, 2, share it, and 3, let me know what you think.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, man. Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
Sayonara.
Later.
Perfect.
Nice, dude.
That was beefy as f-